Hello, what's up this afternoon, everyone? Welcome. Fine Tuesday to ya all, and Lord of the Rings release day to ya all. Good to see ya. What is up, Soul Grottos? And also, MTG Goldfish, Raven's Boy, Last Dragon. How is everyone doing today? Hopefully everyone had a wonderful weekend. I know we missed Thursday's stream. I was down at Baltimore for the Command Fest, and it was super fun to meet some of you. So that was super awesome. Hopefully everyone had a good time if you were Command Festing or pre-releasing or doing whatever. Spice Lord MTG, I played a paper vintage tournament, Oklahoma this weekend, got fourth, got beat by Joe Brennan on stream, the Vintage 2019 World Championship. Ooh, congratulations, Spice Lord, that's awesome. Hey, what's up, Hard to Break? How are you? Good to see ya. So today, it is Lord of the Rings release day. We're not doing like full-on early access style stream because we're playing in the real queue, so we can't go too wild and play like this super duper bad stuff because we got to compete against people playing real decks. But we have some fun decks to play. We have all Lord of the Rings themed deck, and there's some really cool stuff going on. I will show you the decks momentarily. Hey, what's up? Oh my God, Krusty. How are you? Good to see you. Krusty back for the 19th month. Welcome to the Fish Bowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big subscription for you. Thank you. So what are we messing around with today? So the decks I'm most excited about, we have a few of them. The decks I'm most excited about, one is Sam Combo. People have been asking about Sam Combo. This is the new Samwise Gamgee infinite combo with Cauldron Familiar and a Sacrifice Outlet. So we're gonna give that a try. Also, I mean, we got some Orcish Bowmasters. This card, people have been asking about this card. There's been a lot of conversation about this card. Bowmasters, it is busted. Should Bowmasters be banned in Commander? No. The idea of that is absolutely silly to me. No, we're not banning Orcish Bowmasters on release weekend. That's a ridiculous idea. Bowmasters, I opened a Bowmasters at Command Fest, Baltimore. I put it in one of my decks, and the first game I played it, I flashed it in response to a last March of the Ents. I made a 17-17. I sniped down 3 creatures, dealt 70 damage. The card's absurd, but it's not a card I don't think that needs to be pre-banned or anything. It's not Hull Breacher. People start talking about Hull Breacher, and the big difference between this and Hull Breacher is Hull Breacher keeps your opponent from drawing cards. Orcish Bowmaster still lets your opponent draw the cards. So what happens with Bowmasters, in my experience, is it's really, really good. And if you want to combo with it with wheels and stuff, it can just win the game. But a lot of times what happens is you flash this in response to the big card draw spell. Your opponent draws a ton of cards. You deal a bunch of damage. You make a big token. And then your opponent drew into a Wrath or a removal spell. And it all kinds of goes away. Unlike Hull Breacher, which stops your opponent from drawing the cards. So your opponent, with Hull Breacher, you flash it in. They don't draw the cards. So they can't draw into an answer to your Hull Breacher. You make a million treasures. You win the game. So I think it's meaningfully worse than Hull Breacher. So I think it's really good. I think there's a chance this is a staple in Commander decks and also probably pretty busted in Legacy decks. And I think even I played a few games so far testing these decks in Historic. It even feels really good in token style decks. In Historic, just sniping Mana Dork's really good. So I think it's a really good card, but the idea that it needs to be banned already is wild to me. Hey, what's up, dog? How are you? Good to see ya. How was Indy? Yeah, Baltimore was super fun. I had a really good time. The fact of the game sees fully incomparable. Yeah, that's the card I see people compare it to, and I don't think it's a very good comparison. There's not really a great comparison for this card. We just haven't really seen anything like it, but they renewed the 3 Arena quests twice today. Yeah, Arena, fingers crossed, it actually works for us to play with. It's been a little bit clunky today with release weekend, but hopefully we'll be fine. So what are we playing today? Here's the decks, and you can let me know what you're most excited about. But here are the 5 brews I have so far for Historic that we're going to check out. So I mentioned, all right, Stupid Fat Hobbit. That's the Samwise Gamgee combo. So we talked about that one. Infinite combo, Samwise, Cauldron Familiar, Sack Outlet. That's basically all the deck's trying to do. We also have another infinite combo. This is Rada Drobic Boromir Boromir combo, where you can sacrifice Boromir an infinite number of times with Rada out, and then hopefully win with like a Blood Artist style effect. This is also a deck that I want to try out Gandalf. This deck is probably kind of like a little janky. I don't know how good it's going to be with Gandalf, but oh, imagine Gandalf doubling up Junjis and Ows and Thalia's dying and coming back twice with Rada. Like, it seems like it could be really ridiculous. So that's the Rada Boromir combo deck. That's on the list. Very sad today. I brought a pre-release box, got a code for Rita. I had 6 packs waiting for me today. After the update, all 6 packs disappeared. Oh no. Oh no. Oh, hey, what's up, Affinity for Squirtle? How are you? Also, Dogamyth, how are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. That is, I guess I would say to contact Wizards customer support, although how quickly they will resolve it, I am actually not sure, but I would definitely message Wizards customer support. Rada works with Nazguls too. Yeah, it would be fun. It would be fun to try a Nazgul build. I don't know. Nazguls to me feel very against the odds, but I mean, I do love playing against the odds. So we also have another combo people have been talking about, Rosie Cotton of South Lane, Scurry Oak, and basically like a Soul Sister shell. We got all the Prosperous Innkeepers of Soulborns. We got Heliod as a backup for the combo. Oliver's up cheap enough. We get to play a bunch of Collecting Companies in Kayla's Reconstruction. And then Arwen seems really good to protect the team in this deck. We can find it with our Cocos. We can make something indestructible for the turn. So if our opponent tries to fizzle our Scurry Oak combo or whatever. So that's another deck that seems pretty interesting. Maybe the deck I'm most excited about. I haven't built any Brawl decks yet. Haven't built any yet, but hopefully we will shortly. The deck that I maybe am most hyped about, not because I think it's good, but because I think it's fun, is 4-color Tolkiens. Tolkiens. Essentially, this is like Samwise Lannis, creatures that make a food or a clue when a creature comes into play, along with things that make even more tokens, like Chatterfang and Peregrine Tug make extra tokens when we make a token, with the goal being to like stack up a bunch of these creatures and then play Mirkwood Bats. I'm gonna tell you, everyone's going crazy about Orcish Bowmasters. This random common is maybe one of the best cards in the entire set. This card has really impressed me. It impressed me in Commander. It's impressed me so far in Historic. It just drains the opponent for 1 every time you create or sacrifice a token. So once we get this set up, we just burn our opponent out of the game with this Bats, which we can find with their Eldritch Evolution. If we need to go really spicy, we can Eldritch Evolution, God Eternal Bond to a 1-of to sacrifice all of our foods, includes at once, and then we just burn our opponent directly out of the game. The other card that's really surprised me in this deck that people haven't really talked about is Battle of Bywater. Battle of Bywater, it looks like a bad Wrath, and it kind of is a bad Wrath. Destroys all creatures with power 3 or greater, then you create a food for each creature you control. Really though, as a combo piece, the card's actually really good, to the point where I'm considering moving into the main deck. The thing is, we have all these cheap creatures and all these tokens, so Battle of Bywater is often making like 5 or 10 foods, which with Mirkwood Bats kind of just wins the game. It's almost like a 2-card game-winning combo. You need a big board full of creatures, but every time I've cast Battle of Bywater, it has been really, really good. So hyped about the token deck. And the last deck is a deck that I think we're going to try in Modern too, but Legendary Aggro, Boros Legendary Aggro, where you're just trying to like curve out with Legends, Mox Ambers, you have some Frodo action, we have Flowering the White Tree to pump them, we got the big 4-drops on the top end of the curve in Eowyn and Eomar. So basically just like Boros Legendary Aggro, trying to take advantage of the power of Flowering of the White Tree. So those are the decks on the list so far. No Procession with the Bats. Now we could play Procession with the Bats, but yeah, we'll see. We will see. I don't know how good any of these decks are. But anyway, let's do our reminders and start playing some Magic. Replay YouTube. That's where you can find all the old streams, including this one in the future. Normal YouTube tomorrow for Against the Odds. We're going to Modern, and the time has come for Shared Fate. It's Shared Fate time tomorrow. Shared Fate was the runner-up on a poll a little while ago, but I really wanted to build a Shared Fate deck because we haven't played it in like 5 years. And Shared Fate is just one of the most hilariously unique cards. If you don't know Shared Fate, Shared Fate might be the most unique build around in all of Magic, because what Shared Fate does is it essentially makes you switch decks with your opponent. Like, if you would draw a card, you exile a card from your opponent's deck and you can play it. If your opponent would draw a card, they exile the top card of your deck face down and they can play it. So essentially, once this hits the battlefield, you gotta switch decks with the opponents. So the idea of building around Shared Fate is you try to build a deck that, like, can't really win the game, with the idea being you're gonna force your opponent to play that deck. So yeah, Shed Free tomorrow for Against Odds in Modern, so it should be a fun one. A reminder that our sponsor today is Card Kingdom, and if you need some magical cards, you can get them over at cardkingdom.com/MTG Goldfish, and even get a free goldfish sticker. Just let them know you want one in your order notes and they'll hook you up. Otherwise, merch page, tokens, t-shirts, playmats, giveaways, support the stream and the channel, and site donations always appreciated, never required. $2 or more gets your message read on stream. Card Kingdom got 5 serialized Soul Rings, which are sweet. Those cards are shockingly expensive. Like, I was amazed at how expensive those cards were. Apparently, one of them, one of the 700 ones, one of 700, number 1 was open and sold for $13,000. And I saw, like, SCG had them listed. All of them were thousands of dollars, like, absolutely ridiculous. So, anyway, what deck are you most hyped for? What deck do you want to see first? I kind of want to play the tokens. Just because it's fun. Yeah, so everyone's focused on the One Ring being $2 million or whatever, but any of the serialized Soul Rings are actually like a really, really surprisingly big chunk of money. Even the, are they Surge foils? What is the special foil in the Lord of the Rings set? I saw people opening, so in the collector boosters, let me see if I can find these. In the collector boosters, what are the showcase foils? I don't know, whatever the special foiling is, you can get special foil versions of like the box topper cards. So the Lord of the Rings box toppers, but the foil versions, some of those were selling for hundreds or thousands of dollars as well. So those are apparently pretty expensive. Mother Frogger, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup chip for you. Thank you. Hey Seth, managed to play 2 pre-releases this weekend. First one I went 3-2, got a prize booster, which I pulled in Aragon. Nice. The second one, the one card from the set I really wanted also went 3-0 Intuitive Giant with my friend. A super amount of many colors is stupid, good, and limited. Yeah, I don't know how you ever beat... Oh, I forgot to... Hang on. This deck is not complete yet. I messed up. I was just building the decks this morning. I messed up the sideboard. There's one very important addition. We gotta have the Mana Ties. You can't play a non-blue deck like this and not have at least one Mana Tithe in your sideboard. What do we cut, though? Ley Lines, Fragment Realities, Arenas. Hopefully Arena survives the stream. Arena's been running really clunky today. Ever since the update, Arena's like... That's part of why I wanted to stream early, is because Arena was kind of working for me, and I didn't have any faith that it was gonna keep working. So I was like, all right, we better do some hobbiting while the chance exists. All right, let's play tokens. Let's do some tokenings. Aragon? Or Oregon? Oregon. Nailed it. Get the cat deck out of the way. Matches will be quick one way or another. What do you think of the cat combo? Is it boring because it's a cat combo? Or is it unique because it has a hobbit? Why not play Samwise Infinite Combo instead? That's on our list. That's one of the other decks we have. I think this token deck is just fun though. Like I enjoy how this deck plays. I don't think it's one of the strongest decks that we have today, but I think it's like one of the sweetest decks that we have today. Another cat combo sounds like the most boring thing on earth. The nice thing about the Sam version of the combo is it does just win, so your opponent can scoop to it. Unlike the Cauldron Familiar Witch's Oven, like, it's not really a, like, game-ending combo, so you gotta sit there for, like, a million turns while they drain you. At least the new combo, it just straight up kills people. Why do people like cat combos? It's my favorite deck. Yeah, I think it's mostly a holdover from Standard, when it was really miserable to play against in Standard. Yeah, if you have Sweet Brews, send them to me and maybe we'll get a chance to play them. I combined Samwise Cat Oven with Rosie. Ow, that is actually super sweet. I was considering that as I was building the decks. I was like, should I mash those together? Should there be multiple combos in the deck? Because you could also play, like, the Rosie Scurryout combo in this token deck. So there's a bunch of... Ooh, the sand looks pretty fine. I mean, we got the Sam to start making tokens. We have Chatterfang to turn those tokens into squirrels, and then Yawgmoth to do things. Well. Do we just, yeah, let's just Sam. Let's get down the Sam pestered. Dogamith with the gift sub to Picorito. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big scoop to your video. Thank you. So I went to Baltimore to the Command Fest. The first night I was there, I was kind of chilling and talking to one of the people that worked at the bellhop in the hotel I was at, and I was like, "Hey, how's Baltimore? Like, how do you like the city?" And they definitely made it sound like you'd probably get murdered. I was like, oh, They're like, yeah, it used to be really good, but now, like, there are people getting murdered all the time, so you gotta watch out for that. They have lots of cops down here in the touristy area because they're worried the tourists are gonna get murdered. I was like, okay, like, happy Command Fest. Yeah, I didn't realize that apparently, according to people who live in Baltimore, they feel like Baltimore has gotten a lot more dangerous than it was a while ago. The Command Fest was sweet though. The hotel was right across from the venue, which was nice, so it was super easy to, you know what, let's Plaza Furo's Chatterfang. We can wait on the innkeeper. So Chatterfang will come down. We'll get a token, which will also give us a squirrel. Hit our opponent down to 18. I live there, and there's definitely been some places in Baltimore you definitely should avoid. I wanted to go on a Wire tour, because The Wire is like one of my favorite shows, but apparently they don't do Wire tours. At least I didn't find one. Finlay! Hey, what's up, Zone Rain? Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super here. Thank you. I got to play Dan for the first time. That was fun. Dan-Dan's actually a really cool format. I feel like, I don't know how much replayability it has. Like, it might get samey after a while, but I actually really want to build a Dan deck now just to have... Wow, opponent scoops it up before we even get to do any hobbity things. Okay, I mean, we'll take it. That's a win. Oh, what do we want to sideboard? Bard class, eh? Well, against Bard class, we want to not let Bard class stick, mostly. Is there stuff big enough that we can battle a Bywater is the question. Maybe Mana Tithe? We could Mana Tithe. My dad's girlfriend gave us the Wire tour because he works in West Baltimore. Yeah, that's what you gotta do. You probably gotta know someone who lives there. Yeah, Dan actually super cool. It's a really fun format, and it makes you, yeah, I think it's like the Forgetful Fish or whatever. If you don't know what Dan is, it's built around the creature Dan. And what makes the format, so Dan is just it's just a 2-mana 4/1 with Island Home. So you gotta have an island, your opponent has to have an island for it to attack. So it's like a mono blue deck, but the gimmick of the format is that both players play off the same deck. So there's only one deck. You share a deck, you share a graveyard. Will you be able to mono white counter spells with the Reprieve? Yes. I haven't built it yet, but that is very much on my to-do list. So yes, we will be playing it. I missed your stuff. Oh, Stone Rain, my apologies. Stone Rain for the 2-year Fishiversary, 24 months. Thank you so much, Jesse. Welcome back to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Ooh, we got the bats. Big scoop for you. Thank you. Oh. Okay. Tolkien tokens. OP. Opponent scoops it up. Yeah, I mean, Reprieve and Mana Tithe seems like such a great way to get people. What else would we put in that deck? Let's say we just want to play mono white troll you with surprise card. Mono white gotcha. What else would we put in the deck? Yeah, the deck's busted if your opponent scoops on turn 1. Food too good. Did anyone play any Lord of the Rings? It's a white remand. It's a 2-mana counter that bounces a spell back to your hand. Ooh, Mind Sensor is a good option. I like that. I got one of the precons down at the Command Fest. I got the food one, and it was actually super fun. Like, I don't know how powerful this set is overall. Like, I think its power level is most similar probably to a standard set. However, the cards just played in a really fun way. It's synergistic. It's got cool themes. So I really enjoyed this deck quite a bit. We have a new donation from Dread2PCG with the $3 donation. Oh god, mono grade. With the $3 donation. Weird that the year standard changes to 3-year rotation. We don't get standard challenger decks. Isn't that weird? That's really weird. And also, like, horrible? It seems like just such a... It seems like such a bad decision. Oh, we need a way to make a token. We have all this stuff that rewards us for making tokens, but none of our token makers. I guess we just run out Chatterfang. Forest Walk actually kind of hilarious against mono green. Chatterfang Voltron. Well, Lord, welcome to the fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you. Birthday Escape was on my top 10 list for Modern. I actually think that Birthday Escape is a card, I think you're right, people are sleeping on a little bit. No one respects the birthday. But it's like just the best way to make the ring tempt you. Actually, so how was the ring tempt you during your pre-release? Ooh, 4-0, congratulations, Cardboard Samurai. How was the rings tempts you? Because my impression was as a generic, like, value mechanic, it was pretty bad. As a, like, synergy piece, if you have cards that benefit from the ring tempt you, like the commander deck Frodo draws you a card if you've been tempted twice, or the blue Gandalf when the ring tempts you and you choose a creature, you draw a card. Like, if you have synergies like that, it was good. But the idea of just, like, I'm going to build this weird equipment, I wasn't super impressed with the power level of the ring tempting you. I'm tempted to not... Wait, is this another opponent who's salting out? Grizzled Huntmaster. What is up with mono green? So much mono green. Pelukrinos goes to exile. What are the best against the odds cards from this set? I think Race have got to be on there, right? Tom Bombadil. Just so we can say Tom Bombadil a bunch. Tom Bombadil, that's on the list. Nazgul's probably on the list. What else? Frodo alt win con, like try to actually win with Frodo by leveling it up. That's probably on the list. I had an opponent that played 3-mana Gandalf. Oh, the list of, well, I guess the list of what would be potentially for against the odds. The first against the odds poll for the new set. More of a list in my head than an actual list. Oh, yeah, Golem's a good one. Yeah, let's just run out the bats in case we ever accidentally make a treasure. Plus, I guess evasive creatures are good against planeswalkers. Maybe we can just go super janky beatdowns. Chatterfang can't be blocked. Mirkwood Bats has flying. Maybe we can just go aggro. Saruman. I really want to play Sauron. That was one of the decks I wanted to build for today. I just didn't get to it yet. Opponent gonna get frisky. Hits us. Come on, thing that makes a token. That's not a thing that makes a token. Oh, are we sacrificing the bats to kill an Elvish Mystic? That feels so bad. That feels so bad. Where's all of our token makers? Against odds, Bowmasters and Good Shielded in Hollow One. Bowmasters, I think, might be too good for against odds, although that deck does sound sweet. That might be more of a, like, much a brew deck. Because I think Bowmasters is just broken. Yeah, Sauron, the problem, so I wanted to build a Sauron deck, because I think Sauron is just like, how do you beat a Sauron on the battlefield? But whenever I tried to actually build it, it just ended up looking like a Crim deck. It was just like Grixis Control, where it's just like Thoughtseize, kill, counter your stuff, and then eventually trust that Sauron's gonna win. Oh, I kind of feel like we're supposed to sack the bats here. As bad as it feels. Protection from humans actually relevant. That text usually does not matter, but we're trying to feed the hobbits, making us lots of hobbit food. What is up with the hobbits and the eating thing? Like, are they kind of just hippies? when I was watching the movie, I was like, wait, they're just like kind of chilling this like cool little backwoods place out in the like, you know, out in nature. They're always like smoking their pipes. They're eating lots of random food. Yeah, that was my impression. I was like, I think they're kind of hippies, more or less. Really short hippies. Did I end up watching Lord of the Rings? Yes, I finished it. Well, actually, I got up to the ghost people. The ghost people lost me. But yes. Only 2 breakfasts? I mean, breakfast is the best meal. I don't even know if there's any, you know what, we'll just 1, 2, 3. You know what, we're going to do it. I feel bad about this because Mirkwood Bats is sweet, but I think we need to restrict our opponent's mana. Not only is it a mana on the battlefield, it's also a mana for Nykthos. So while it hurts to sack one of our big payoffs, there's the Samwise too. All right, well, things are looking up for next turn. Next turn, we can actually start making tokens, which is good. Ooh, Tree Folk, that's actually a good one for the against odds list. I really like the new Tree Folk legend. I feel like they didn't explain the ghost people enough. I feel like they needed to be explained more in the movie. Apparently the extended versions explain it more, but honestly, and maybe I just wasn't watching intently enough, but I felt like the ghost people kind of like came up out of nowhere, and it was actually like kind of a silly ending about it. Okay, well, there goes our Chatterfang. We did have plans for that. Opponent passes. Well, play Samwise. Play Peregrine Took. Play the land, play the Gilded Goose Honk Honk. Okay, now we're in business. Now we are in business. Make some food, make some food. There's up to 6 food out of nowhere. Oh, we have a million. What is going on? Holy gift subs. Alias Babylon with 50 gift subs. Oh, I don't even know if I can read this many names. Thank you so much, Alias Babylon, with the gift subs to literally everyone. You're all in the fishbowl now, thanks to Alias Babylon. Thank you so much, Alias, and welcome y'all to the fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscriptions. That was an accident? Oh, no. Oh, Alias Babylon, I don't know if there's a way to... Oh, no, I'm sorry. I wonder if there's a way to fix it. If there's a way to fix it, please fix it. Do not feel bad. Now I feel bad that you accidentally gift subbed. I mean, thank you for the accident, but seriously, if you can like contact customer support and get your money back, I do not feel bad about that at all. But thank you accidentally. Hey, what's up, Zozie? How are you? No attacks. I mean, we're just gonna hang out with our food and hope that nothing goes horribly wrong, which it very well could, because our opponent's got a Nykthos going now. Karn, the Great Creator. Oh, they're gonna get a Pithing Needle, aren't they? Oh, things are looking worse. Things are looking worse. Okay. The other thing about Peregrine Took is we can sack 3 food to draw a card. So it's actually a really nice card advantage engine with this setup. This is one of the other big, like, huge new additions to the deck. New Tree Folk with Doran. Ooh, Doran would probably be in the deck. I think that'd be the way to do it. There's a needle. Opponent. Well, I think we sack the goose. Sack the goose to put a counter on the Hydra, or shrink the Hydra. Draw nothing. Sack 3 foods to draw a card. All right, pass the turn. I assume we're losing our Yawgmoth. That would make the most sense here. With the bat, it would be lethal already. Yeah, the bat would be really nice. Maybe we should have let him keep it. I don't know. I'm always scared of the mana on mono green. Is there a way we can kill this Karn? They did name Yogg, right? Okay, they named Yogg. We draw another Sam. All right, so play Chatterfang. Oh, chat. What is the proper order for this? Do you know? I feel like there's a way we get more benefit, but I am always do it wrong every time when this comes up. Torpor, no. Torpor is as I enter the battlefield. So click took first. Okay. Hey, there we go. And then we can play Samwise, number 2. We are going to legend rule, but I think it's worth it because we're going to make enough squirrels that we can click food first. So now we play the land. Untapped. Chatterfang. Kill Voracious Hydra. Everything at the Karn. Opponent. Okay, gonna trade with Samwise. We're gonna let that go, unfortunately. Karn down. Are we taking down mono green? Are we hobbiting? Are we hobbiting mono green devotion? Is that a thing that actually is happening? Oh, please not. Oh, hey, okay. Wait, are hobbits legit? Did we break it? Is it too early to say did we break it? Did we break it? Oh yeah, the Orcish Bowmasters is ridiculous. So I opened one. I opened one of my packs. and I put it in a commander deck. First game I drew it. I told this story earlier, but I don't think everyone was here. First game I drew it, someone cast Lash Marks in that, which is also kind of ridiculous, and drew 17 cards. And I flashed it in response, and made a 17/17, sniped down 3 big creatures. It was like, it felt legitimately broken. Like, for 2 mana. What is stronger for zombies in Pioneer, Mono Black or Rally? So I think Rally is more powerful, but it's also riskier. It really depends on the amount of graveyard hate. If I knew I was never going to get hit by graveyard hate, I would prefer Rally Goblins. If I'm playing in a meta where I'm expecting there to be a lot of graveyard hate, then I lead the other direction because like Greasefang is a pretty popular deck. So if you're playing in a place where everyone's teching to like beat Greasefang and they're prepared for that, then I think it's just too risky to because the Rally builds really struggle if the graveyard gets shut down. Like if the graveyard gets shut down, the whole thing kind of falls apart. So it really just depends on the meta, I think. Oh yeah, that was your last March of the Eds. Hey, what's up, Fatman Jenkins? Great to meet you as well. That was a super fun event. Hopefully you had a fun weekend. So Seth, there's a handful of cards out there that say change the text of a target spell or permanent by replacing all instances of one color with another. My brain isn't big enough to see a way to exploit this in any meaningful way, but I feel like there must be something out there that can take advantage of this somewhat unique mechanic. You live and breathe jank. Can you figure out a way to break it? Maybe a good ATO. Ooh, well, Catcam fam. Thank you for the... Ooh, this hand looks actually pretty excellent. Oh, wait, we don't have any black mana. Yeah, we'll find it. If we had black mana, this hand would be great, but oh no. Oh god. Oh no, that's not black mana. Okay, so we can't, oh, we might just be dead then. Yeah, if they have Leyline of Abundance and a Mana Dork, things go bad in a hurry. Saruman. Yeah, so what can you do with the color changers? Obviously there's like Come on, we really... Oh, dear. Oh, dear God. Black mana? No. Oh, dear. Well, all right. I think we're dead. I think we're dead. Storm the... Wow, what a draw. What a draw. Okay, yeah. Sure. Mono green, doing mono green things. What is there to do with those color changing effects, though? So you can, like, change a creature so it's not black so you can Doomblade it. Like, there's simple things like that, but that's not, like, that exciting. There's gotta be... I don't think I've ever seen a combo built around those cards, but there's gotta be. There's gotta be a way. Ooh, Momir Veg. Okay. I mean, yeah, I guess that's... I guess we can look it up. Are there even Mindbend combos? Oh, Mindbend. 0% of Magic the Gathering decks. Oh, Blind Seer. Blind Seer is like the embodiment of that. If you want one of those effects to be your commander. The challenge with the spells is they're one shot. So like turning any spell red so you can counter it with Douse or whatever, like if you gotta spend a card to do that, it becomes a little bit less exciting, although it is funny. Yeah, I'll have to look into it. I'll have to figure out a way to do it. All right, black mana. Do not keep a hand without black mana. Yeah, we got 1 million accidental gift subs. They're working their way through the system. Some opponents just Eldritch Evolution, Elishorn Mother Machines to get Elishorn to kill me today. Deck has also Blink like Ephemerate. Ooh, wait, what deck has Ephemerate? Oh, this is the riskiest nut draw. So we have the Gilded Goose. We have the Sam to make food for the goose. So basically, if we draw land in our first 2 turns, this hand is really good. Because turn 1, we can Gild a Goose. Turn 2, Sam. So as long as we get a land to play, I guess it has to be specifically blue. 1 land, 1 keep. But there's a goose. Twitching out. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big scoop to your video. Thank you. You gotta trust in the Hobbits. Gandalf will save us. We're good. I watch the movies. If there's one thing I learned from the movies, it always works out for the Hobbits. They're just a very lucky people. And land. Oh god, that's okay. Wait, did the movies lie to me? Maybe the movies lied to me. Oh my... I'm honestly not... I'm not sure why they allowed this card to remain legal in this format. Oh, we hit a land, but it's not a land that actually helps us that much. I'm not sure why... Leyline's banned in Pioneer. I'm not sure why they... I don't understand Wizards' management of arena formats, honestly. I'm not sure why, like, Mono Green would already be top tier without this. I'm not sure why Wizards feels the need to keep this, like, what are they doing? What are they thinking? Mono Green doesn't need Leyline. Leyline just makes it, like, ridiculously unbeatable broken in the games where they draw it, instead of just, like, normal broken. Like, this is turn 3. Opponent's gonna cast 2 Storm the Festivals on turn 3. Maybe even more. All right, GG. Well, I guess the amount of lands we draw doesn't really matter, so. Because Historic is closer in power level to Modern than Pioneer. Is it? Maybe. I mean, if that's the argument, then we should have Blood Moons. We should have Blood Moons. And the Modern level hate cards. If we want to play Modern, give us the hate cards for Modern. Does Wizards actually care about Historic? How often do they ban things? I mean, they rebalance things. Like, every once in a while, you wake up on a random day and they're like, hey, this common ninja that you forgot existed now costs 1 mana less. And now has reach. This grizzly bears now has reach. We have solved the meta. We have fixed it. We fixed it. It needed reach. But menace. we have given this random ninja menace. We have rebalanced it. I mean, Bloodman would shut down the Nykthos. The game where we just got absolutely wrecked by Nykthos making 20 mana on turn 3. Bloodman would stop that. I have a riddle for you. How many non-common, non-legendary Lord of the Rings creatures are there? I feel like this is a trick question and the answer is 0. I don't know if that is actually true, but it might actually be 0. Or it's very close to 0. I'm going to go 0. I'm going to say it's 0. I feel like I know this has a ridiculous amount of legends. I haven't actually specifically looked to see if every uncommon is a rare, but or every uncommon is a legend, but it feels close. Oh yeah, wait, the orc one. Oh, so there are some rare creatures that are not legendary. Oh god, this thing. Opponent, Crucius. Well, that's the other thing they do in Historic. It's either they give a random ninja reach, or they just print the most absurdly over the top cards they can think of. There's no middle ground in this format. Here, this random common from draft has reach now, or Crucius. That's it. That's all. Nothing in between. I actually love abusing Crucius so much as the next person, but come on, Watsy, time to rebalance it. Yeah, this card's pretty strong. It's actually like ridiculously strong. Opponent gonna go attacking. I think we're probably not supposed to block here because something will probably go horribly wrong, and passes. This is exactly why I'm not getting any Lord of the Rings on MTGA. I mean, I think the Lord of the Rings cards have a chance to compete. I wish Wizards would be a little more active with their management of the Historic format, because I really like Historic, but I feel like Wizards is derelict in their duty because remember, like, So here's the thing that's bothered me most about Historic and also Alchemy lately. I mean, this is all Crucius. This is all just like, I can tutor up a Fatal Push off a treasure every turn. Like, what are you even supposed to do about that? Like, that is just Crucius doing Crucius things. Do we scoop now? Probably. Yeah, let's go to sideboarding. So here's the thing that's gotten me lately. So we've talked at length about Historic Alchemy, prices, this, rebalancing, all this stuff. Like, that's been a huge conversation we've had. So we're not getting into that, but I feel like, considering Wizards' goal for these arena formats, these digital first formats, was to have this like constantly changing. They wanted to be like Hearthstone or something, right? That was the idea. And whether or not that's a good idea, I know like some people would rather just have everything be paper magic, not have anything, and no digital only stuff. That's a completely fine opinion. But let's say Wizards was doing the right thing and their goal was correct, to have like this very fast, always changing format. I feel like they failed at that goal, which is the thing that's kind of bothered me lately. Like, I feel like if you are going to do these digital first formats, shouldn't you be more active with doing that? I feel like, I don't know. I guess my expectation was like, you'd be monthly rebalancings, like other digital first games, maybe bi-weekly rebalancings. Like, it would really be this constantly changing format. And I don't feel like they really have done that. Like, that's the part that I'm most confused by. So whether they should have done it or not, or kept it exactly, that's neither here nor there. But if you are going to go digital first, like, why not embrace that more? In my opinion, Lord of the Rings was made to push people into Alchemy Historic. I love Lord of the Rings, but zero reason for me to get it. I mean, I think it was made to sell a lot of paper magic cards, but I do think on Arena, part of the goal is to get people to try those formats. I would agree with that. I think part of the goal is to get people to try Alchemy. I mean, also they time the I think that part of it is just like, I think part of it really is to try to get people to play alchemy, to give them to give it a shot, because the timing of the standard changes, like the announcement of standard rotation changes, it almost seems like it was to line up with the Lord of the Rings set. So like, please try alchemy, Lord of the Rings set, please try alchemy. It feels like that's kind of what the push is Wizards saying, please, like, please everyone, we would really like you to give alchemy another chance. Whether or not that actually ends up working, I guess we'll see. But Just Peter, welcome to the fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup, thank ya. Opponent. Hey, it's a Thoughtseize. Boo. Boo. I really think Lord of the Rings should have been standard legal. I think it should have been standard legal. I don't like that it would have went into Pioneer, but I think that this set would have been really good for standard. I don't know if they can, like, contractually not put it in standard, or, like, I don't know. Maybe there's other reasons they couldn't do it, but now that we've seen the full power level of this set would have been so much fun in standard. Lord of the Rings is fine. Alchemy is absolutely not. Yeah, it would have been interesting. I don't think it would have been too broken. Like, I think... Oh, jeez. Sees number 2. Takes our bats. When it goes to combat attacks. Yeah, this one's not looking good. We kept a land-heavy hand, and our opponent has Thoughtseized all of our non-lands. And now these Blood Tithe Harvesters just mow down anything we play. Ugh. Alright, next. Next. I wish it was at least Pioneer legal. I really like the idea. I really like the idea of Pioneer not being impacted by supplemental products. In my dream world, Pioneer gets no supplemental products, and Modern gets every supplemental product. Literally, like Commander Precons, Modern legal, any product, any random product, make it Modern legal. Like, that would be my dream world. Also, I mentioned this before a while ago, but my dream world for alchemy, and I think I cracked it and Wizards missed it. I think I have the $1 million idea that would make the community happy and make Wizards an ungodly amount of money on Arena. But you know what they should have done, and you know what they should still do if they ever give up on the alchemy thing. You know what alchemy should be? Alchemy should be not rebalancings and digital only cards, especially since we've seen they're not doing that aggressively anyway. What it should be is every time a standard set releases, the alchemy release should be all the new Commander Precon cards, all the Jumpstart cards, and they should do every supplemental product. Put every supplemental product that you make, put it into alchemy, put it into historic, not doing the rebalancings and digital only, just like dump it all in there. That would make Wizards so much money. Like, that format would be really fun to play, and historic Brawl has gotten super popular. Could you imagine if all the Commander Precon cards were going to historic Brawl too? Like, oh, I think that would be such a win. I think it'd be a win for everyone. Like, I think it's a win for, I think the community would like it, and I think Wizards would, like, sell a ton of Magic cards. So to me, that seems like such an obvious way to do it. But I guess the thing that it wouldn't solve is a price issue. Like, the cards in the Commander Precons are still often rares, so there's still gonna be a cost. Like, it would still be more expensive than standard. So it doesn't solve the alchemy is more expensive issue, but the Elf Precon would be terrible in 1v1. Dude, your opponent just votes with you. It'd be fine, and then you scry a bit. I mean, I was thinking more of the new cards rather than all the reprints. The reprints, I don't especially care. Like, I want as many cards on Arena as possible, but I was more thinking, like, the 20, 30 new cards that they print in, like, Jumpstart, Commander Precons, like, all of those would be sweet. Why hasn't multiplayer been added to Arena yet? The rumor is, whether or not this is 100% true or not is kind of up for debate, but as far as we know, Yes, give us the squirrels. As far as we know, they just don't have the technology. That's kind of the issue. Like, wow, we either get stomped or our opponents scoop on turn 3 to Lannis's. There's no middle ground. Good afternoon, says. So I was listening to the podcast today, and you were supported by Magic at Sea. Do you plan to go on that next year? I have not really thought about that. The sponsorship thing just kind of came up out of the blue a couple of weeks ago. I haven't actually made any plans or looked into it. I think it could be fun. I like the idea of it. I've never been on a cruise before. If I was ever going to go on a cruise, it would definitely be a Magic cruise. I don't know. Have any of you ever done a Magic cruise? Is it worth it? Should I be considering it? The idea sounds really neat. I don't know how seasick I'll be. I imagine trying to play commander on this very rocky boat, but I'm sure cruise ships are not actually like that. All right, what do we want to sideboard in against? Whatever, something with Jengatha that scooped on turn 3. I mean, no one expects a Mana Tithe. We can always bring in the Mana Tithe. Bring in a Mana Tithe, go down to Prosper. Maybe go on a Fatal Push and Eldritch Evolution. Run it like that. I just got back from my first cruise this weekend. It was a good time, but would have been better with Magic. Yeah, I mean, the idea of the Magic at Sea thing sounds neat. It's just I think it's a 6-day cruise. And the whole idea is you just go play Magic. There's tournaments, there's prizes. It's going to be all Magic players. It seems like a floating GP almost, floating command fest, but twice the length, a whole week almost. I guess we can keep this. We don't have our white mana for Sam, but we got the Lannis, which is basically Clue Sam. So, well, there's the bats. All right, can we draw some lands and get to the bats? Yeah, I don't know how expensive they are. Opponent with the Thoughtseize. Oh, maybe they're just a domain deck. Boo. How long did it take you to grow the beard? It's tough because I just have had it for a long time, but I think to actually get it this long, it's definitely more than a year. I usually just keep it long and trim it a bit once in a while. So I've had it for a long time, but I've been on a jam cruise, which is music festival on a cruise. It was epic. The Magic cruise sounds amazing. Yeah, I'm gonna have to look into the details. It sounds super fun. I have to see how much it costs. Maybe that'd be a thing to do. You can get really good deal on cruises if you buy them far enough out. I imagine you can probably get good deals now too with all the pandemic stuff. I remember when the pandemic first started, wasn't the cruise lines some of the things that got hit hardest, and prices got ridiculously cheap. I don't know, maybe they've gone back up by now. Wow, opponent. Okay, so opponent's just domain control. All the removals, all the counters, all the obnoxiousness. Opponent gets Jengatha, passes. Well, Forest and Mirkwood bats. For the love of God, stop killing our stuff, opponent. Please, please. Opponent. Wow, the most removal heavy hand of all time. And a 5/5, and opponent passes, and we draw land, and we play a Pitiless Plunder, which pretty bad here. Hey Seth, does Goldfish currently have a Pauper guy, or are they looking for one? So, Joe, who does This Week in Legacy and Vintage 101, just started doing a Pauper series. So we're kind of doing that for now. So I don't think we're actively looking for another Pauper series yet, but we are kind of doing a little bit more Pauper and seeing how it goes, which is sweet. There's nothing even good to tutor out here, is there? Not really. I mean, Eldritch Evolution, but yeah, our opponents just had too much removal here. Too many removal spells. I mean, this Peregrine Crook's not doing anything, so I guess we might as well. The thing about this deck is it's very synergistic. So for it to do cool things, we really need a bunch of pieces on the battlefield, and it's very hard to do cool things if we don't manage to do that. Like, our deck's not gonna do anything fun with just a thing on the battlefield. We need several to many things. Twitching out with the $5 donation. Hey Seth, new here and I love the content. Do you plan on going to MagicCon Vegas? Traditionally, yes. I'm like 95% sure I'm going to Vegas. I haven't actually booked it or made final plans, but I go to Vegas every year, so I should. My expectation is I'll be in Vegas, but I'll definitely give you full confirmation once it's like 100%. But oh no. But I would say it's like 90. I would say 95% that I will be in Vegas. Vegas is super fun. Oh no, what a horrible draw. Okay, well now we know what our opponent's doing, which is killing all of our stuff. Thank you so much for the donation. Are you gonna be in Vegas twitching out? Also, thank you for the kind words. Maybe we need enchantment removal? Is that a thing we need? I don't know if our opponent has enough creatures for Battle of the Bywater. You know what, let's run it back and hope that doesn't happen again. Someone have the same problems. There's no standard Lord of the Rings cards on Deck Builder, only alchemy cards. Ooh, I don't know. I'm a little confused by what that means, but I would like to help if I can figure it out. Oh, I almost feel like we gotta keep, you know what, we're keeping this hand. I know I'm gonna get yelled at, but we're keeping this hand. We need an action heavy hand because we know our opponent's just playing infinite removal. We need to get a little lucky and draw a land. But if we draw a land, this is the kind of hand that can actually fight through our opponent's infinite pile of removal. We do not draw a land. Okay. Where's the Hobbit luck? Where's the Hobbit luck? All right. Okay, we draw a land, not as quickly and easily as we were hoping, but that is a land. All right, run out of Lannis. About it untaps. We got there. We drew it. It took an extra turn, but we drew it. Opponent, Fable the Mirror Breaker. Yup. Gildagoose is actually a pretty good draw. We can Gildagoose, Hong Kong, make a food, make a clue, Fatal Push the Goblin. And yeah, I mean, I guess we get frisky. Hit you down to 17. Come on, another land. I'm sure you covered this, but why no Coco? The curve is a bit too expensive to really make Coco work. The big problem is bats and also Yawgmoth, but we just don't have enough. Okay, yep, that is a thing. When will Lord of the Rings be standard legal? For some reason that no one really can make sense of, never. I mean, I think the reason is Wizards wasn't able to plan it well enough, apparently, but it really should have been standard legal. It would have let a lot more people enjoy the set, I think. Opponent. Even more removal. And there's a Thoughtseize. That Hidasugu Consumes All was brutal. Brutal. That was, boy, that is exactly what we needed to not happen. And, well, there's a tap land right on time. Well, Peregrine Trug, play the tap land, pass the turn. Opponent gonna flip the Saga. No cap for Samwise. Opponent. Alright, gonna haste in. Hidasugu. Yeah, not looking great. I wonder if it'd be worth... Oh, jeez. Well, our opponent's plan of just playing strong magic cards and endless removal seems to be working out pretty well here. Another Peregrine took, eh? Well, Prosperous Innkeeper. Make some things. This doesn't matter, right? Yeah, it's just too late to matter. A little bit too much removal. We can get the Yawgmoth, but it doesn't do anything. Huh. Yeah, I think we're just dead. I mean, we'll take the Yawgmoth. But I don't think we can actually beat this setup, unfortunately. Opponent untap. Deck feels like it dies to Doomblade. Well, I don't think it dies to Doomblade, but it dies to Sweeper plus removal plus Thoughtseize or whatever. Like, the Hidasugu Consumes All was pretty brutal. Like, that was like a 4-for-1 or something. Opponent. Have you had a chance to play with the Commander precons yet? I got a chance to play with... Our opponent has more removal? I got a chance to play with the food one, the Salmon Frodo one, and it was actually super sweet. I was very impressed. Have any of you got to try any of the other ones? Well, we will block, take our beads, see what our opponent has. Seriously. Opponent's so good at drawing removal spells. Yeah, okay, sure. Opponent. Lightning Helix number 2. And passes. It's a land. And on to the next one. Yeah, I was impressed with the synergies of the food deck. I thought the food deck was actually super fun. Ooh, a Mass in Historic Brawl. What commander are you using? The Rohan precon is super good. Yeah, I mean, Wizards, I guess the track record's not super long yet, but their track record with Universes Beyond Commander precons is really good. Like, the Warhammer decks were really good. These decks seem really good. I'm sure the Doctor Who decks are going to be really good. Do you have any plans on doing any Lord of the Rings drafts? Maybe. Is that something that you're all are interested in? I don't know. I feel like I never know how to handle Limited. I know some people really like it, but in general, Limited's not one of the more popular themes. So I never know exactly how much to draft. All right, we will not keep this 1-lander. We will keep this 2-lander though. All right, sure. Sand's okay. At some point, we're gonna need a actual black source. All right, Inquisition. Do you think Commander Legends will have good precon decks? Oh, Commander Masters? I mean, probably. They're making new cards for them, which is kind of weird. So I assume, like, the themes sound like they're going for super popular, like, slivers and so forth. So it seems like they're kind of going all out for it. So I would expect, I mean, Commander precons in general have gotten pretty good. Oh no, this is that deck. Oh, but we might have to, we'll give this deck another try or two, and then I guess we'll switch it up. I kind of wish we could play this in Standard. Opponent. Hey, Crucius. Eventually, Jodah Brawl decks will be 90% of Historic Brawl meta. That's the other reason I think that, the other reason I would love to see them add the Commander precon cards is I feel like that would help improve Historic Brawl quite a bit. Opponent. Battle. Kills our Peregrine Took. Have you thought about any of the legends for Historic Brawl? I haven't really gotten to that yet. I haven't gotten to the Historic Brawl level. So far, outside of spoilers, mostly been focused on... Yeah, alright, sure. You played a Crucius. Why couldn't Crucius be a printed card? Because its power level is way too high to actually exist in Magic. Because it is, like, just legitimately broken. So, I mean, actually, the actual answer is... And that's... boy. The actual answer is it has a digital-only mechanic that you couldn't exactly easily replicate in paper. With the seek mechanic being, like, you get a random card of that mana value. I think the closest you could do it in paper would be, like, you have the same mechanic, you discard a card, and you, like, pseudo-cascade until you hit a card of that mana value, but then you'd have to reveal it, so it would be slightly different still, because how would your opponent know that you weren't just putting whatever into your hand? So you could mostly replicate it in paper. Like, the only thing that you couldn't really replicate in paper is... the fact that your opponent doesn't know the cards that you hit off Crucius. That's the one thing that I don't know how you could actually replicate in paper in a way that Wizards could actually do for tournament play. I mean, I guess you could do it and just, like, trust that your opponent doesn't cheat, but in general, there's a reason, like, Mystical Tutor that says, like, you know, tutor for an instant and reveal it. There's a reason cards like that make you reveal it, so your opponents can verify that you are actually playing the game correctly. Compared to, like, Demonic Tutor or whatever, you don't have to reveal it because you can get anything. I went to a pre-release. My pool was fine. What are we sideboarding out here? We'll just go down. I mean, we got to bring more removal to try to kill the Crucius, I guess. I don't think Mana Tie's that good because they have a million Thought Seizes. Pioneer is definitely super sweet. Sadly, the set's also not legal in Pioneer. Well, it seems like the people who have voted in the poll like the idea of doing a draft at some point. I mean, how are you all going to interact with this set? That's something that came up in chat earlier, is people being like, well, I don't really play any of the formats on Arena, so I'm skipping this one. How are you personally gonna interact with it? No wrong answers. No judgments, no wrong answers. If your answer is, I'm gonna jam a bunch of alchemy, that's awesome. By all, like, that, no one is going to trash you for that. I mean, the set seems like maybe the greatest historic brawl set of all time. Not buying it all. Interesting. Are you buying it in paper, Stone Rain? Or do you do much paper stuff? Not buying it because its universe is beyond. I'm curious, does this IP in specific make it better? I feel like, so I'm not a big Lord of the Rings fan. We've talked about that before. I'm not a big Lord of the Rings fan. If I didn't know Lord of the Rings at all, and you had told me that this was just a Magic set, I would believe you. Obviously, I know enough of Lord of the Rings that when I see Gandalf, I'm like, oh, that's a Lord of the Rings card. Or I see Frodo, I'm like, okay, that's a Lord of the Rings card. But if that didn't exist and you just said this is a Magic set, like, look at Peregrine Took. Yes, it's a Lord of the Rings card, but if you, like, just put a different name on there, couldn't it just be a Magic card? Like, I don't know. I feel like that Lord of the Rings in specific is the least universes beyond. Oh, they're just playing all the busted alchemy cards. I got you. Yeah. So opponent, free Thought Seize. Sure. The cards are super sweet. Although, so far it's not looking like they're quite up to the power level of keeping up with alchemy cards. Alchemy cards are pretty pushed. About it. Hits us down to 15. And plays a Tarmogoyf. Opponent plays a Blood Crypt. Oh, we draw another land. Ugh. Well, okay, so we can create a food. We can sack 3 food to draw a card. Look at our synergies. Oh no, it's even more lands. Oh, yeah, not the best time for the flood. Pass the turn. Opponent goes to combat. Gonna do some attacking. Look at Peregrine Took Gilded Goose though. 2 food, sack him, draw a card. That's pretty busted. My God. I swear we're playing non-lands. There are non-lands in our deck. That is a thing we included. We did include non-lands, like Prosperous Innkeeper, apparently. Okay, Prosperous Innkeeper, Plaza of Heroes past the turn. Oh, opponent! Invasion of Asglow. Sure. Well, we'll sack an Innkeeper since it's not doing anything. Opponent goes to combat. Opponent attacks down to 2. Not a lot of life. I'm this 100%. I'm fine when the universe is beyond, but keeping in Commander out of competitive formats, I can see that. That makes sense. Well, play Alanis. Gilded Goose. Sack the foods. Draw a card. Oh, even more lands. Even more lands. That wasn't food flood. That was just straight up land flood. Maybe this set should make you try some legacy decks. Do you ever plan on doing a legacy stream? We play legacy on occasion. I play it more on YouTube though than on stream. Do you know what the jump in events are in MTGA? Have 5 tokens for it? No idea. So I believe that jump in is a new player focused format that's supposed to help you build a collection. I've never actually played it, but that's my understanding of it. So I think if you have new player tokens, you should probably give them a go, because I think it's free cards basically. What format will I think it's kind of like Jumpstart-y. Might be the best comparison, like a Arena-y version of Jumpstart. Well, run out of Innkeeper, make a treasure. Pass the turn. Ooh. Alright, Glasspool Mimic, eh? What does that mean? Mono blue? Alright, opponent passes. Well, we will... Can we resolve a thing? Get in with the Innkeeper, hit ya. Huh. Alright. Peregrine took. Please don't counter all of our stuff, opponent. About it. I think people confuse the digital aspects of alchemy with bad design, unfun cards. Digital is all upside because it allows for more design space, but has been mishandled with overpowered cards. Yeah, I think the biggest thing for me isn't that they have overpowered cards. The biggest thing for me isn't that they make overpowered cards. Like, I think that's a thing that's going to happen. The biggest thing is that they don't fix them in a timely manner. That's the part that I don't understand. We kind of talked about that a little bit earlier. Like, I don't understand. I really just, it blows my mind. I can't figure out why. Like, if you print something that's overpowered, sure, fine, I get it. Like, that's a thing that's gonna happen. But why not just, like, the next week or the next month just, like, rebalance it? Because that was like the whole gimmick. So that's the part that gets me. Like, I'm not mad that they print cards that are busted. I'm just, like, confused why they don't quickly rebalance them, when that was the whole point of making these formats, was to change it quickly. Proof! Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super chat for you. Thank you. Cece's doing well. Oh, Bear, though. Bear's a little salty. It cracks me up. So I came home from Baltimore, being gone for the weekend for the Magic Con for Command Fest, which was a blast, and thanks to SCD for the invite. Yeah, let's make a food or two. Oh, come on now. All right, opponent. Flashes in a merfolk trickster. That's unfortunate. So I came back. Cece's perfectly fine. Same as always. Bear, though, Bear's been like giving me the cold shoulder the last couple of days. Ever since I got back, I think he's mad that I think he's mad that I left for the weekend. I mean, he's getting better, but when I first got back, I'd like go to give him a treat or a boat, and he would just like turn his head away and like look away. I think he was trying to punish me for going on the trip. Well, I guess we see how many counters our opponent has. Actually, so even if we Eldritch Evolution to get Yogg, we don't have enough creatures to sack. All right, let's play a Bats. So our opponent's playing like Merfolk Control, I guess. Yeah, Bowmaster with wheels sounds sweet, but there's not really many wheels on Arena, unfortunately. So that'd probably be something I have to try in like Modern or Legacy. Commander, definitely get in like Nekuzar. Opponent. Flame of Andor. All right, apparently that's why our opponent's trying to play a control version of Merfolk. I wonder if this is actually good enough to... Is this good enough to play red in your Merfolk deck? I think that Flame of Andor is okay, but it doesn't seem that great. Sure. Go Merfolk. I think if you rebalance things like banning's probably wrong to think of it that way, but makes sense with the way they're approaching it. Oh, God. Yeah. Sure. Yeah, I mean, I think that's... Yeah, most of the playable Merfolk are accidentally wizards, so that... It makes sense, I guess. Getting 2 modes is nice. Like, if you get 2 modes on it, it's decent at least. I don't know if it's great, but it is decent. Yeah, I wonder... We can try the Samwise combo deck. I wonder if it's worth... So you could play Cauldron Familiar in this deck, but I feel like if you're going to try to combo with Sam, you really need the redundancy. So we need to play way more sack outlets, because Cauldron Familiar, especially if you're not going to play Witch's Oven, which I don't think there's any way this deck would want to play Witch's Oven. Actually, yeah. I mean, the question is, what do you cut? Where do you find room? That's the big challenge. Where do you find room? But I do think the Sam combo is cool. Does Cat Oven go infinite with Bats? No, because, well, I mean, so Cat Oven you get extra damage out of it, but the problem is the oven's going to be tapped. If you do the like Sam Cauldron Familiar combo, Bats would be a finisher there if you wanted it to be. Although I guess like Cauldron Familiar just wins anyway with its ETB, so I guess you probably don't really need it. Yeah, well, I was hoping we'd see more cool stuff with the tokens, but we'll switch it up probably after this match. Try one of the other decks. We'll try Eldritch Evolution. It's pretty painful to get countered. The 4-drops in Eldritch Evolutions for Cocos. I don't think that deck can win without... I don't think that deck can realistically win without the 4-drops. That's kind of the challenge. Like, without Mirkwood Bats and Yawgmoth and so forth. I mean, you got Pitiless Plunder. Pitiless Plunder is just like a one-up way to go infinite, but I don't think you can actually... I don't know how we close out the game. Hobbits have a lot of sweet synergies and make a lot of food, but they are not very good at attacking. Hey, what's up, Wenzo? How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Well, we will... Mana Confluence. Oh. Yeah, maybe we just gotta play... Yeah, let's just play Chatterfang. Get down the Chatterfang. Chatterfang's pretty good at sniping creatures. Seems like it could be good against Merfolk. No, unfortunately... Witness Protection, okay. Opponent has come prepared for the Chatterfang, apparently. Well, play Samwise. Play a Gilded Goose. Start making some food. Get in for one with our legitimate business squirrel. Yeah, Academy Manufacturer's not on Arena, unfortunately. That we'll have to play in Modern. Unfortunately, we can't really Modern today because you just can't get the cards, is the big issue. It just takes a few days for the cards to actually filter in the system. So it's really, really hard to get the cards right away on Magic Online. About it. Come on, merfolk. So what other cool things can we do with Lord of the Rings cards? Dandy Floss! Oh, not more lands. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you. Well, get in with the legitimate business squirrel. Pass the turn. Opponent. Voldair and Hexcatcher. Sure. Nazgul Tribal definitely seems like a fun against the odds deck. I wonder, do you think there's any way Nazguls could win a game? Like, how many? Is it Flumph? Is it Lord of the Rings Flumph? How many matches do you think it would take to win a game with Nazguls? Over or under 10? I mean, you'd get one of the thing is you'll win Nazgul and 7 Dwarves. Yes, the dream. Oh, let's make a food. Oh, I really wish this Chatterfang was not a business person. Was much better as a squirrel. How about a prosperous innkeeper? We might actually have to consider killing our own Chatterfang so we can get it back with Sam. As horrible as that sounds. Really? Alright, opponent kills our Sam. We make a food. Well, I mean, the Flame of Andor's look good for our opponent here. Hit our opponent down to 17. I guess we kill the Hexcatcher, but... Oh, we just got a bunch of 1/1s and a bunch of geese. Do you think that Collective Defiance and Induced Amnesia are good enough to try to make Grixis Bowmaster wheels? Oh, I mean, Bowmaster is really good. The wheels on Arena are really bad. It could be fun to try, though. There's no... What? So the only actual wheels in the format are like 7 mana? No, they got Sebulin, too. Well, so much for the food, Hobbits. I saw an aggro deck that puts a lot of tokens with Prince Ilfin that looks interesting. Huh. I wonder how that worked. Now we will pass. Unfortunately, Sebulin's busted, and our opponent has so many cards in hand. How do you actually make tokens with Faramir, though? It seems... So Faramir, if you get attacked, you get to make the tokens? About it. Goes attacking. Draws a card. Yeah. I don't even think there's any point in playing it out at this point. It's just not gonna happen. All right, last try. Amnesia's a pseudo wheel. Commit to memory, emergency powers. Yeah, commit to memory, emergency powers are just so much mana. They're just so much mana. But, I mean, they are sweet. We can try to build a Bowmaster deck if you want to try to build a Bowmaster deck. I mean, I think Bowmaster is one of the strongest cards in the set. Oh, I see. So it's kind of a human deck. Interesting. Okay, human-ish? Human adjacent. How is Pippin felt? I wonder if is Pippin better than Skrelv in a deck like this? I think Flowering the White Tree is pretty strong. It's in the Boros aggro deck. All right, last shot for the tokens, and then we'll move on to something else. Well, this hand has a lot of powerful top end stuff. Should we get to it? Opponent. Oh dear, mono red. All right. Powerful top end stuff might not be exactly what we want against mono red. Opponent. Yeah, the problem is the wheels aren't on arena. Like the flashback one, Echo the Eons, not on arena. There's a lot more options. Days Undoing, Echo the Eons. There's a lot more options in modern. So I think some sort of maybe we just give up. Maybe we just got to give up on this deck. That would, I mean, if you peer into the biz over Bowmasters, you do win the game. That is very lethal. Cordius, welcome to the Fishbowl. Opponents played a lot of 1-drops. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big Soup Jerry, thank you. Yes, that's like ridiculously good for Historic Brawl. There's so many sweet new options for Historic Brawl. Boy, this deck is kind of flumping. This deck is kind of flumping. We're at flump level with Token Combo. I think maybe this is just a deck we got to play in Modern. In Modern, you get Academy Manufacturer, which lets the deck go like infinite-ish. So maybe we just got to try to play it in Modern. Because if you have access to Academy Manufacturer, then you can cut all the 4-drops, and instead just focus on. Yeah, the Coco, not enough cheap creatures to actually make Coco work, unfortunately. There's only so 30 creatures, 4, 5, 6, only 23 creatures that can be got by Coco, which is just, that's not enough. You really got to be, ideally you got to be 30. Like that's kind of the ideal number. 28's fine. 25 is like, oh, you really probably shouldn't play it, but if you really want to, like, you're gonna whiff sometimes, but 23 is just, it's not enough. So you could cut the Mirkwood Bats and the Pitiless Bunner, like cut all the expensive stuff, cut the Eldritch Evolutions, but then the question is, how do you win without Academy Manufacturer? How do you win? So if you got ideas of how you can win, let me know, because that's the issue. Like without the Mirkwood Bats, what's the plan for actually winning the game? I guess you could just go like full on. Yeah, I mean you could go with the Sam Cauldron Familiar combo. Although we have a whole deck for that technically. Well, honest. You would think that just making a bunch of food would be good against mono red. Like, wouldn't just a bunch of food, shouldn't that be enough to beat mono red? Like, kind of on its own. Okay. End the festivities to pump? Sure. That is legal. You were allowed to do that. Well, maybe we get to do fun things this game. We might get to do fun things. So 1, 2. Oh, we don't have quite enough to do 3 things. Let's Peregrine Took. Actually, you know what? Let's Sam. Let Sam make a clue. Pass the turn. About it adapts. Is blue the least needed color? So blue is basically for Lannis, which Lannis is really good because it's a combo piece. Curse of Hospitality. Okay, I don't think Curse of Hospitality shouldn't be very good for our opponent. If it steals a land here, though, I'm gonna be a little sad because we do kind of want to draw land. Okay, it is a land. It would have been tapped though. All right, let's Woe Strider. We're getting there, little by little. We are adding pieces slowly to the battlefield. So, we get a bunch of triggers. We make some tokens. We go to combat. We hit you, we hit ya. Sam going aggro past the turn. Do you see much digital-only cards in Historic nowadays? I mean, it depends on the matchup, but the top-tier decks in the meta are pretty much digital-only cards. Like, the best cards in the format are digital-only cards. Yeah, Lannis is a super cool card. And Sam is a super... Like, Sam is essentially Food Lannis. Like, Sam is really sweet. Yeah. Actually, no. If they have End the Festivities, we really want this goose to live. Opponent. Okay, steals a dork. I think we actually sack the goat to try to find land. Sam to the bottom. Untap. Eldritch Evolution. So. Okay, let's Eldritch Evolution. Sack the Lannis. Get a Pitiless Plunder. Make a food. Pass the turn. Oh, we're so close to going off about it. Looking at our Woe Strider. Killing our Woe Strider. That's not ideal. We get a treasure. Opponent, Feldon, goes to combat. Swings. Well, we will block. We'll take our beats. Down to 8. Opponent, stop stealing our lands. Chatterfang. Gilded Goose. Alright, there's a land. Okay, so. We do have to not die. Not dying is becoming a concern here. This is Arena. Hey, what's up, Spectre? Welcome to the chat. Good to see ya. Okay, how do we do this? So we got the Pitiless Plunder. We don't have a sack outlet currently. We need to be aware of straight up dying, which is a thing. Opponent's only got one card in hand, though. All right, let's Peregrine Took. Trigger. Pass the turn. Hopefully don't die. Oh, we're so close to just, like, going infinite. Opponent. Lightning Strike. Well. Sack some food to draw a card. Another bat. Opponent grows the dorks. We get a treasure. Goes to combat. Swings. Well. Block. Block. Drop to 4. Opponent. Wow, they stole a Fragment Reality and our one Yogg. This Curse of Hospitality seems so bad, but the cards our opponent's exiling are super relevant here. Opponent. Going to exile our Pitiless Plunder, and we get a random Chatterfang. Chatterfang's actually kind of good, though. That's actually kind of good for us. All right, crack a food to gain some life. This Chatterfang might be the card we needed if we can make enough squirrels, which I'm not sure if we can. Untap. Draw land. Play the Mirkwood Bats. Trigger. Drain you. Play the land. Pass the turn. Opponent down to 15. Opponent land. Squee. Okay, out of cards. Out of cards is good. Opponent swings with everything. Makes a goblin. That's fine. We will block and block and block and block and block and block. Okay, this is good. This is good. And then we can Chatterfang. Sack the squirrel. So Felden doesn't trigger. Okay, we might actually finally be doing it. Drain you, drain you. Opponent down to 13. Opponent gets one card from our deck. It's a land. We untap. We draw a Samwise. Okay. Oh, okay. 3 food, 2 clues. Not that much life. About it. What is the combo of this deck? I mean, Pitiless Plunder is the main thing that lets it go infinite. Also the Yawgmoth that our opponent exiled. But mostly it's making and sacking a lot of food to the Mirkwood Bats is kind of the main thing it does. So Squee can come back. We probably do need to sack a food. The Sam doesn't do anything. Yeah, let's just play a Sam. Legend rule. Get some triggers, drain you. Down to 11. Sack of food. Go back up to 6. Drain you. Pass the turn. We have a new donation from Twitching Out. Hey, let me see Twitching Out. $5 donation. I made this Nazgul deck since I brought it up in chat. Do you have any ideas for improvements? Well, thank you for the donation, Twitching Out. Let's see. Wait. Oh, we're so close to just closing out the game. At some point, we kind of want Peregrine Took to... Alright, opponent attacks, makes a goblin. Block, block, block. Drop to 4. Curse of Hospitality. Gets a Heartless Act, opponent can't cast. Ooh, there's a Lannis. Okay, play the Lannis. Trigger, drain you. Eldritch Evolution. And opponent scoops it. Okay, well, we got there. The food, good enough against Mono Red. We lost some of the big combo pieces. Plunder getting exiled and Yawgmoth getting exiled. Still enough to grind out the win, though. Let's see Nazguls. How would you improve Nazguls? I mean, that seems like a reasonable attempt at Nazgul. Wow, jeez, Nazguls are ridiculously expensive. Nah, I cannot. No way. $40. Wait, what is the actual price? People are actually paying $20 a Someone actually paid $20 for a copy, and a lot of people are paying like $10-ish. Wow, That's going to go down as one of the most expensive uncommons in Magic. That is ridiculous. So I think the main challenge for the Nazgul is going to be, it's a lot of 3-drops. 9 Nazguls and the Smeagol's. That's just so much. And then also like Claim the Precious and Ring Sight. I would probably try to play maybe Mana Dorks to speed things up. I'm just a little worried that we're going to be like, do nothing on turn 1, do nothing on turn 2, Nazgul, into Nazgul the next turn, and I'm not sure that's actually like gonna be fast enough to keep up with the speed of Historic. So I would probably be looking at maybe like, it would be less flavorful, I guess, but maybe you play like Llanowar Elves, Gilded Use. You could play the Halfling Mana Dork if you wanted to, even though it's probably worse than Llanowar Elves. But I might be looking at that, I think, would probably be where I'd start. Shallow State, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup for you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank ya. Do we run something out to its death? We could just make a food. If we want to play Sam, we got a shock, and then our opponent probably kills it. Yeah, let's just play a forest and pass. Play a forest, pass turn. About it, adapts. Yeah, I guess, honestly, most expensive recent uncommon I would go with. Thank you again for the donation, twitching out. Yeah, definitely Alpha stuff or Force of Will. Some of the early days stuff is more expensive. But as far as like cards printed in the modern era, that's a really expensive uncommon. I mean, it should go down, right? As it's being open, hopefully. Opponent, Voldarin Epica. And just passes. Wow, know it. Oh wait, this got rebalanced. Okay. I was wondering why they didn't attack, and the answer is their card got rebalanced. Well, all right. Untap land, run out Chatterfang, down to 15, pass the turn. We need a way to attack the Chandra. Opponent untaps. Hey Seth, I played Commander with you last week, and I told you about a Dodge Death deck a buddy of mine made. Here's a list if you want to see it. It took time to port it. Oh, thank you. Opponent going to play with Fire the Chatterfang. And end festivities. All right. So our opponents had their big turn. They still have a Chandra. And we are still taking a ton of damage. Opponent pings us. Attacks. Down to 7. That's not much life. Oh, not good, not good, not good. Well, play Sam. The Shockland's killing us. Playing the land, playing Lannis, drop to 5. Make a food. We're at 4. About it. What do you got? All right, takes up Chandra. Oh, for Reckless Impulse to draw even more cards. And trigger their Swift Spear. I don't even know if End Festivities is good, but I guess it's like kind of working for our opponent here. Opponent, play with Fire and Squee, goes attacking. Opponent. Opponent. Yeah, I mean, I guess we gotta block and block. Drop to 3. Eldritch Evolution, not very helpful. Chandra about to go off. Oh. Alright, we'll try a different deck. I've been all over the world. I even remember some of those places. Yeah, boy. I'm curious. So apparently, 4-color tokens. Apparently we're gonna have to play in a modern. We have Academy Manufacture. Apparently it's not maybe enough for historic, unfortunately. What deck do you want to try? What should we try next if we're moving on? So we can try Sam combo. We can try Boromir Radhadrabit combo. We can play Rosie combo. Boros Legends. Those are the options. Which of those seems most interesting? Oh, thank you for sending me the deck list. That does look super sweet. Boromir, Boros. Just get aggro. I mean, Boros Legends just gets aggro, does some attacking. Does Boros Legends play Ferris Rockerick? It does not. It plays a bunch of... I mean, so Boros Legends is essentially just trying to attack as much as possible. The main hope is that Mox Amber combined with a bunch of cheap legendary creatures just let you accelerate really quickly. Flowering the White Tree makes everything huge. You got big-ish finishers in Eomar and Eowyn, Boromir to protect the team, Mary to draw a bunch of cards. So it's essentially just like Boros aggro, but hopefully extra explosive because of Mox Amber. And yeah, I mean, who doesn't love Isumar? We can try Boros. Let's try Boros next. This is another deck that I'm like kind of especially hyped to play in Modern, but I think it's got a lot of potential here. This is one of the decks, unlike the token deck we just played. We're not just like obviously missing something like Academy Manufacturer. So I feel like Ragavan, like you get more options in Modern, but I feel like it's a pretty solid. I mean, it's an aggro deck, but I think it's got the pieces to be a pretty solid aggro deck. And I think someone like Eomar and Eowyn in a legendary deck, even Mary in a legendary deck, I think they're pretty decent cards. So we'll see. We'll see. My unbiased opinion is you just play the sweet Legends Matter deck I sent you. What deck was that, goddamn? We do have a Sumaru. Also Thalia's. All right, opponent. What do you got, opponent? What do you got? All right, let me update the deck list. Oh, what do y'all think about the... Oh, Pathway. Is this Rogues? Shapeshifter, okay. What do you think about the Ambassador program thing that was such a hot topic? I mean, I don't actually want Ragavan unbanned in Historic. I think that would actually be a bad thing, although it would be really good for this deck in specific. Yeah, it looks like ninjas. Opponent Fairy Sia. Opponent gets in for one. Well, Inspiring Advantage and Thalia. Get some defense out there. About it. Alright, well, I guess we can't block any of this anyway. What ninja do they have? That's the real question. Opponent. Picking up Ornithopter for a Moon Circuit Hacker. Well, I mean... Opponent's gonna do their ninja things, and we're gonna swing some legends and see what happens. Opponent replays Ornithopter, passes. Well, play the Mary, play the land. We really need to draw at least... Oh, okay, Ratilda. We really want to draw land. Eowyn and Eomar, getting them down next turn would be super helpful here as we're getting ninja'd. Opponent gets in. Ninjutsus. And Genius Infiltrator is the best ninja by far. Opponent gonna draw a new hand. Well, we need the land. We need the land for the Eowyn. Or Mox Amber. So we have like 20. We got a ton of options. Eowyn gets rid of the Infiltrator as well. Jaguar for the 63rd month. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. Thank you. That's a lot of card draw. Opponent. Untap land. More Changeling Outcast. Do we draw the land? I guess Mox Amber doesn't actually work. Tajik. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, I think we're dead. So we mentor. We go attacking. Oh, the land just a little too late. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I mean, we need our opponent to not have anything. We need our opponent to have nothing at all. Oh, we needed that landed turn earlier. Opponent. It exiles a creature with the greatest power, right? Which would be Infiltrator. It was actually really good. Wait, am I missing something? Is there some reason this does not get rid of Infiltrator that I'm not seeing? Opponent draws a new hand. And oh, greater power. That actually makes that kind of worse, doesn't it? So it only, I mean, it's still good. But yeah, you're right. I thought it was exile the creature with the greatest power. Greater power, not as exciting. These Ornithopters are going to win our opponent. Oh, and a Fatal Push. And a Retrofitter Foundry. Yeah. Well, we got to see ninjas go off. That's kind of cool. The rebalancing's paying off for our dear opponent. Well, bring in some removal, I guess. Go down. What? What do we cut? So that wasn't an especially explosive draw. We didn't have a Mox Amber. Mox Amber and Flowering of the White Tree are the two biggest, most important cards, I would say, to this deck. Yeah, I guess Eowyn's kind of bad against a deck that's just playing all tiny creatures. Opponent. Non-bows with Flowering. I mean, if you're hitting with a hasty 6-drop or whatever, I think we can deal with that. Well, we got Mox Ambers. All right, here comes the 1-drops. So, play the land. Frodo. Mox Amber. Izumaru. Mox Amber. Skrelv. And, okay, hand on the battlefield, turn 1. Is it enough? Is it enough? That's what the deck wants to do. Is it enough? Bo Schwartz, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank ya. Oh, Mox Amber is kind of a ridiculous card. Do we... We can level up Frodo, or we can deal with Retrofitter Foundry, which is better. This making a 4/4 gets around Skrelv pretty well. I enjoy watching you play Historic, but I can't get back into myself since Explorer dropped. I wish I could, because with the Rings cards, I don't really like the Alchemy cards. Yeah, that's... I mean, I guess if they had Ornithopter, they would have played it, right? They should have played it. So I guess we're probably safe to go attacking. Hit you to 15, pass the turn. Opponent. Darkslick Shores. And hopefully 3 1-drops on turn 1 is enough. If that's not enough, goes for the throw. Well, I mean, if they're going to kill 1, that's... Ooh, okay, new plan. Flowering of the White Tree. Grow 'em. Smack ya. Okay, opponent down to 8. Almost dead. 2 poison counters. Ward achieved. Opponent. Yeah, this is going a lot different than the last game, for sure. Opponent looking at our Flowering of the White Tree, realizing that they are in a bit of trouble. Flowering of the White Tree is a messed up anthem. Yeah, Jaguar, I can feel your pain. I wish they had made the Lord of the Rings card legal in more places. All right, opponent drowned in the lock. Very Max punished. They're back. Frodo, Izumaru, Skrelvia. This is looking like a one-land win. I think we're winning with a single land. Opponent, Fairy's here. One land, one land. You always yell at me for the one-landers, and this time it's gonna pay off. The power of Moxen. Moxen are ridiculous magic cards. Well, we will go to combat. We will swing. Opponent. Going to make a servo. Blocks. Blocks. Drops to 2. Pass the turn, and opponent scoops it up. Yeah, we're playing 4 Ganjos in this deck because it's pretty much always 1 mana. It's like one of our main removal spells. Yeah, this is a good 1 land, 1 keep deck for sure. Do we need more Fragment Realities? So we have the Molten Impacts. We have 2 Fragment. I mean, let's just keep doing that. Let's just draw all the 1-drops. All the 1-drops and all the Moxen. That's all we need. That's all we need, and we're good. Yeah, Izumaru's like, if you care about Legends, it's actually kind of decent. Yeah, we just got to draw 2 Moxen and 3 1-drops every time, and then top deck the White Tree. And we're no problems. No flumps here. A reminder, if you need any Lord of the Rings cards, you can get them from our sponsor, Card Kingdom, over at cardkingdom.com/MTG Goldfish. What do you... Did you see all the fake, like, One Ring postings? How many people have there been so far that have, like, posted a counterfeit one of One Ring, claiming to have opened it? Quite a few. The number seems kind of high. Oh, this hand's not bad. 2 1-drops, 1 land away from Boromir. Seems decent. I mean, that's what the deck really wants. You want multiple 1-drops in a Mox. That's kind of the ideal opening for this deck. Why not Minas Tirith? I believe we have 1. Is there not one in the deck list? I think there's 1. Yeah, there's 1. Maybe, I don't know. You think it's worth playing more than 1? I get nervous about playing too many legendary lands, but Minas Tirith does seem really... I mean, it is perfect for what our deck's trying to do. So maybe it's worth it to play more than 1? It is very strong, and it should always come into play untapped. I could see trying 2. You can get away with it with a Ganjo just because you can channel them, but legendary lands you can't channel are a little riskier. About it. There's Ornithopter. Well, okay, play the land. Play the Frodo. Play the Mox. Play the Skrelv. Pass the turn. Oh yeah, this deck is kind of designed to make Flowering of the White Tree good. All right, opponent's going to Ninjutsu Moon Circuit Hacker. Obnoxious. Gets to draw a card. Well, can we win the race with our opponent being on the play? 2 to the top. That's not ideal. Opponent. 4th bridge. What? Okay. And Ornithopter. Oh, we really needed to hit a land here. All right, well, Izumaru. Pass the turn. Oh, not looking great, not looking great. Sorry, I feel like I'm spamming, but I'll also mention the Balrog deck I brewed for Commander. It plays Pox Death Code. Yeah, the Balrog deck looks super fun. That's one of the commanders I'm excited to build from this opponent. Getting in with the fairies here. Down to 16. Oh, boy. Where are all of our lands? Huh. This is so bad. Not being able to attack against this deck. We're just giving our opponent so long to draw into their ninjutsu creatures. We can, like, legend rule ourselves, but a counter seems very possible. Well, alright. Mox. Play another Mox. Oh, yeah, they got something. They got something. Keep the new Mox. Play Thalia. Even though we won with 1 land last game, that doesn't mean we want to always draw 1 land. We would prefer to actually draw more than 1 land, actually. When it comes down to it. Opponent. I mean, you can't Fatal Push the Thalia. Legendary Aristocrats. Oh, that is definitely a spicy one for sure. That's got a ton of spicy one-ofs. I mean, if you can actually get Sisei going. Yeah, that almost reminds me of a Brawl deck. Brawl in Historic. Well, there is a Magic the Gathering land card. Well, play the land. Play Boromir. Hit you with the Thalia. Opponent blocks. Alright. Well, pass the turn. Opponent untaps. Yeah, it definitely looks spicy for sure. So when are we getting Rough Drafts Butchered Lord of the Rings edition? There was a poll earlier and people said they wanted to see a draft. So we will definitely do a Hobbitsy draft. What's up, Rennis? How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. Wow, opponent is getting frisky here. Moon Circuit Hacker as well. Oh, This probably means they have another one of these Fourth Bridge Prowlers. Yeah, let's block that way. Kill a Moon Circuit Hacker. Drop to 14. Opponent. Okay, well, yeah, that's real bad. Well, we've been tempted by the ring for the first time. Opponent. Yeah, that is a ridiculous blowout. Christoph! Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup cheer for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, okay, Frodo into tap land. Here comes our lands now. And we will pass the Magic the Gathering turn. Hey, Seth, I've been looking... Oh, what in the world is this? When it enters a battlefield, return an instant or sorcery from your graveyard to your hand. Oh, it's a... Okay. 2 less to cast if there's no instant sorcery cards in your hand. Yeah, that's not good. So we know our opponent can counter or kill anything. And a Changeling Outcast. Well, take up Frodo. I've been looking for a Historic Brawl deck list with Strider Ranger of the North as a commander. Does Goldfish have any lists yet on the website? Well, that's not the best time for a... Not the best time for Mox number 3. That is the downside of Moxin. Explosive starts, but bad top decks. Well, play Eowyn. Unfortunately, our opponent's deck is so small it doesn't kill anything. So we could look. What is... let me look up Strider. Alright, opponent's going to kill the Frodo. Eowyn resolves. I don't even think we can attack. Pass the turn. Oh, they have creature lands too. This is looking grim. The Siphoner. The Siphoner is going to steal, I think, for our opponent here. Opponent attacks. Attacks. So that's 5. And our opponent's at 18. Yeah, I don't think there's any getting out of that. So what you can do if you ever want to see... I mean, you can obviously just go to like a metagame page and look at Historic Brawl and see what pops up. But if you go to advanced search and you put in your format, you can search for the specific card. It does not look like anyone is. Oh wait, that's not the right date. All right, does not look. Hang on, that's still not the right date. What is today's date? The 20th. Let's see if anyone's actually uploaded a Strider deck. But yeah, this is the easiest way to see. Yeah, it doesn't look like anyone has uploaded a Strider deck for Historic Brawl. I'm not even sure what Strider is. Oh, another land, all right. Ninjas. What do you want to do with Strider? Strider's kind of... So is Strider a character that you love from Lord of the Rings? Or is it the magic card that is interesting to you? Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, target creature gets +1/+1. Then, if it's a creature has power 4 or greater, gains first strike. So kind of, I guess, Gruul Landfall Voltron is probably the best way to look at it. I run a degenerate deck with Cybia Siphoner, Oracle of the Alpha, and Ephemerate to loop Time Walks. That sounds like alchemy being played the way that Garfield, actually, I don't, who's alchemy Garfield? The way that whoever runs alchemy intended. I think that's what Wizards envisioned when they created the format, that people would be, blinking their Oracle Alphas to shuffle the Power 9 into their deck when getting it back with their Cybia Siphoner. I don't know, the arena team and the paper team seem very... One thing I've learned about Wizards over the years is it doesn't seem like they talk to each other. It seems like there's a bunch of different groups that do different things, and they're very siloed off from the rest of the company. So I'm pretty sure that the people that design like paper Magic sets are not the same people that design arena Magic sets. I'm pretty sure they're two. Well, we got a flowering in the first tree. We are in the draw, but oh boy, mono green. All right, well, land and Isumaru. Go. Opponent. That's a biggin. That is a biggin. That's turn 2 Bluchronos on the play. Well, all right. Grow, Isumaru, grow. When do you start draft? Honestly, I wasn't planning on drafting today, but if that's what everyone wants to see, we could probably sneak in a draft instead of playing constructed. Opponent. Yeah, we'll see if we draw the amount of lands necessary to. And okay, forceful cult. Yeah, that card seems pretty busted. Well, all right, play a land. So Tajik. I mean, I guess this is kind of good. Tajik. Do we go at our opponent? I guess. Oh, I hate leaving this Kiora alive, but we can't kill it anyway. Yeah, let's... All right, go attacking. Mentor the Isumaru. Look at this start. Look at this start. That's a lot of big creatures attacking. Kill the Pelucranos. Hit you to 12. Look at the... Oh, look at the starts the deck can get off to. Oh, God. Okay. Cavalier of Thorns. Draws a card with Kiora. Hits a forest. Gets a Cityscape Leveler. Finds an Elvish Mystic. Can we draw a land? We need a land. We need a land. Oh, that's a land. Okay. Oh, actually, no. We don't even... What was the talk about Eowyn? We don't even have Eowyn. Oh, no. Chat. There's no Eowyn here. There's no Eowyn. No Eowyn at all. There's this thing, but this isn't an Eowyn. It is a 6/6, I guess. One... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's sad. That means that the Cityscape Leveler comes next turn and blows us out. Is there a way we can stop it? Is the deck we're using pretty good? Yeah, who knows at this point. We've only played a couple games with it. It can do some sweet things, but it's kind of just an aggro deck. So we'll see if it can hold up to... I mean, Mono Green, I think, and Rakdos are the two dominant decks in this format. So can it hold up to the combos of a deck like Mono Green? But I like a lot of the things the deck does. The deck does do cool things. Yeah, I guess Thalia's the best bet. The Thalia slows down the Leveler, but it doesn't let us get through this Kiora. Or this Cavalier. We really do need Eowyn. Eowyn just wins us the game. It straight up wins us the game. All right, Grizzled Huntmaster. Opponent draws a card with Kiora. They exile the card they drew with Kiora. They get to tutor from their sideboard. Wow. Oh, no. Oh, jeez. Okay. This card's busted. Grizzle. Remember when this card first came out? This card was one of the, like, original alchemy cards. Ridiculous. Such a ridiculous card. Funky Monkey Beats! Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup cheer for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Well, is there a way we can win? We need to... Okay, we're going to play Frodo. We're going to play Boromir. We're going to pass a turn. I think if we untap, I think Eomer can let us win next turn. Come on now. Come on now. You gotta be kidding me. Opponent finds another Cityscape Leveler. All right, I take that back. The talk of winning a game, I think, is his fizzled. Opponent untaps with Kiora. So if we, yeah, without the, there's no way we can win now. Yeah, tutoring from your sideboard is pretty good. Pretty good. Huntmaster is alchemy design done right. Definitely a really strong card. Was it rebalanced? I feel like it was rebalanced at one point. Maybe it wasn't. Okay, so what do we do? I mean, we've only played one match with this. So we played our one match we played against ninjas, and we did end up losing in 3 games. So I guess technically the answer is no. But it's a pretty small sample size. Mono green is tough though. Mono green's just like a kind of ridiculous deck. Opponent. Alright, well, we'll try it. Not as fast as we were hoping, but... I mean, Invasion of Gabakhan is good. So we can play... I guess we gotta play an opponent, Llanowar Elves. Well, I guess in that case... I think we just gotta kill the Llanowar. Get the Llanowar out of here. Next turn, we can play 2 things. So we can, like, Ratilda plus Flowering, I guess? Opponent plays a tap land. Well, all right, play the land. Oh, I guess it's going to be Ratilda plus... Yeah, because Mox only makes red mana, so Ratilda plus Invasion of Gabakhan, which is still pretty good. Invasion of Gabakhan. So 2 Hunt Masters, a Cultivator, Storm the Festival. Well, let's take, we can't really stop the Hunt Masters, so I guess we just gotta take the, I mean, I guess it's gotta be Storm. Yeah, take the Storm the Festival. Pass the turn. Shady! Thank you for the raid. Hopefully you had a good stream. Welcome, 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 raiders. How is Lord of the Rings been for you, Shady? Opponent. What did they exile? Exile another Hunt Master. Mary A. Mary's actually kind of sweet. So play the land. Play Mary. Play Flowering of the White Tree. Attack the Gabakhan. Actually, do we care about the Gabakhan? Yeah, let's go Gabakhan. Let's flip the Gabakhan. Red Squatch, welcome to the fishbowl. Thank you so much. This is actually kind of cute. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super cheer for you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So we can play and sack it to kill the Hunt Master. Play the Frodo. Pass the turn. Sneaky synergies. Opponent plays a lad. And hey, what's up, Red Squatch? How are you today? Oh, no. Opponent has come prepared with the answers, that's for sure. Yeah, this makes things a lot... Oh, this makes things super bad. How can we ever beat a 3-3? Actually, Aganjo's helpful. Opponent blocks. Well, we will Aganjo the frill back. Hit you a bit. Draw a card with Minas Terrace. It's a Mox Amber. Play the land, pass the turn. Would it work to go a bit lower on the curve by removing some 4-drops and maybe include some Reckless Impulses to see more cards, perhaps with new Pia? So, I mean, I think going lower on the curve could be good. If I was going to go lower on the curve, Mono Green just has such big creatures. If I was going to go lower on the curve, I think the main reason to do it... Opponent blocks, opponent blocks. Well, level up Frodo. Opponent goes to 10. Play Athalia. Inspiring Vantage. I think the main upside of going lower on the curve is that you get to play Luris. And Luris is kind of busted. Oh boy. Yeah, that's not great. Well, okay. Go to combat, swing with everything. Opponent blocks. Unblocks, blocks. Well, Aganjo it. Kill the Cavalier. Rahilda actually hits. Come on. Something bomby. Something bomby. Something bomby from the opponent's deck. New P is super cool. I don't know about the like Reckless Impulse. I feel like if you're playing... Well, that's not that bomby. It is a body. Draw land. Hit ya. Elvish Mystic. Plains. Hold. Hold. We know what they get to do. We know they get to storm the festival. Does it beat us? Does it beat us? How high do they roll? Opponent Tap 6 mana, Storm the Festival. This card seems really strong. 2 mana Rampant Growth that adds 2 mana symbols. I mean, I guess you gotta have no land in hand, but... Oh, opponent scoops it up. Opponent scoops it up. Nupia is definitely sweet. I don't know if I would play in this deck, though. I feel like if you're going to play Flowering of the White Tree and Mox Amber, you really want to focus on playing as many permanents as possible. I could see cutting everything that's expensive to play Luris. I think that might actually be the most competitive version of the deck. The only problem is you lose some of the Lord of the Rings flavor. Like, a lot of the Lord of the Rings cards in the deck are the 4-drops. I'm not sure, like, Eomar or Eowyn are actually, like, I don't know how strong they are. I don't know if they're strong enough to actually be, like, no, Ragavan got banned. I'm not sure if they're actually, like, strong enough. So, I don't know, maybe that's probably, and then if they blow up the Flowering the White Tree, Luris just gets it back. So, probably the, like, all my stuff is super cheap and I play Luris build is probably the, like, best version. But it's not as cool. It might be good, but it's not the coolest version. Do you think there's any chance the Ring Tempts You does anything? It's pronounced Iowin and Iomir. Really? I think I missed that part of the movie. That must have been when I fell asleep. Aowin. Aomir. Just play Luris in the main. It's really good regardless of where you got it from. It could be worth considering in the main. Well, play the land. Play the Frodo. And pass the turn. Come on, no Kiora coming down here. Opponent, untap land, Pelucranos. Well, that's also obnoxious, I will say. Well, Minas Tirith. Mox Amber. Kill the Llanowar. Pass the turn. Opponent taps. Nykthos. Only 3 cards in hand, though. Wow, there's a Kiora. Okay. And untaps a land and another Elvish Mystic. And opponent goes attacking. Changes their mind. Okay, how do we do this? We can win this. We should be able to win this somehow. So, we could double Molten Impact Pelucranos. Attack Kiora, Invasion Agabakon? Eomir. It's more fragile than Initiative. Oh, it's definitely more fragile than Initiative. That's for sure. Oh, Pelucranos so big. Well, okay. Kill Pelucranos. Play Invasion Agabakon. See what our opponent's last card is. It's a Cavalier. Attack Kiora. So much loyalty. Opponent untaps. Come on. Alright, Forceful Cultivator. That's a good top deck. So next turn they get to go off. Oh, we draw nothing. Well, play the Skrelv. Attack the Kiora. Opponent takes it. Oh, yeah, we needed them not to draw something to make a bunch of mana here, but they did. Now they get to do Nykthos stuff. Yeah, mono green's pretty strong. About it. 4 mana. Untaps it. And Cavalier of Thorns. Sure. Oh yeah, mono green's like ridiculously, it's ridiculously busted. Opponent draws a card. And plays a land. And goes attacking. Just kidding. Well, okay. Boom. How about that, green deck? How do you like us now? Yeah. Pass the turn. Yes, green deck is all over the place in Historic. I think since I've started playing Historic today with the set coming out, I think it's been like, it's pretty close to half the matches overall. It seems to be the most popular deck by a pretty decent chunk. Well, we get to kill a dork. We take our beats. Hopefully our opponent does not have a follow-up. All right, Forceful Cultivator. Sure. Gets another land. Well, we're seeing the downside of being a legend-themed deck is you do have some issues with the legend rule. Like, sometimes it's all Skrelvs on the top of your deck. Sometimes it's all Skrelvs. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if Boros Legends, I don't know what the power level is. What would the Lurus deck look like? Hey, what's up, Shark Boy? How are you? Good to see you. Good to see you. What would? Yeah, I mean, Mirror Box is a super fun against the odds card, but I don't know if it could actually, from a more like competitive perspective, I don't know if it's really worth it. Because a lot of the time it's going to do nothing. So that's kind of the problem. Like, there's times when it'll be really good, but a lot of the times it just doesn't do anything, which is a bit of a concern. The consistency is just really not there. What is this? I didn't really read all the alchemy cards. Maybe some of those are supposed to be in the deck. maybe that's the key. You just got to embrace the alchemy. Forceful Cultivator could have been a paper card very easily. Like, all it's got to do is say reveal your hand. Like, we have cards that we literally have that. Like, we have this card. The card is land grant, I believe. Land grant. If you have no cards in your hand, you may reveal your hand rather than paying the spell's cost. Search your library for forests, reveal it, put it in your hand. Like, it could have been worded this way. If you have no lands in your hand, reveal your hand to show your opponent that it's true, and then do the thing. So yeah, it definitely, I mean, I guess again, the counterpoint, the counter argument would be, well, it's not exactly the same because you'd have to give your opponent the information. Your opponent would be getting more information with the with the paper version, but really, as far as how it would actually play, it would be 98% or something of the same card. It's like very, very close. I mean, that's true of a lot of the digital only cards. Like, a lot of them almost sometimes feel like they were paper cards that Wizards changed a little bit to make alchemy cards, if that makes sense. Like they were, the designs are not like super far out there or anything for the most part, which is funny. Oh boy, I can't believe I'm saying this, but I loaded up Hearthstone for the first time in like a year recently. I loaded up Hearthstone, and the difference between Arena and Hearthstone was kind of was kind of jarring. Not only, so what made me think of it was yeah, maybe we just try another deck. I do think a Lurrus build is probably good, or good-ish at least. But I don't know what the spice level is. I don't know if the spice level's high enough. It might not be. What is this even? I'm not reading all that. That's way too much reading, Watsy. That's way too much reading. This deck would be busted. Actually, maybe Tomic's good in this deck. It is good against things that untap lands. Maybe something like this in Lurrus. But I loaded up Hearthstone. What made me think of this was... yeah, we'll give her these very, very memey Teferi's protections. What made me think of it was Hearthstone's version of digital only is like, cast 10 random spells of your color, essentially. Like, I think there's an actual card in Hearthstone it's 10 mana, their equivalent of 10 mana, and it's I believe it's cast 8 druid spells, which would be roughly the equivalent of like cast 8 random blue spells. So they just go like super far out. But the other thing that got me, so I hadn't logged into Hearthstone for like a year. I log into Hearthstone, and up pops, hey, we haven't, something to the extent of, hey, we haven't seen you for a while. We got this thing where we're giving away a bunch of decks. So here's these 8 decks for the next couple weeks. Maybe it was a week, but for the next amount of time, play with all these decks. And they're actually like, I don't know the Hearthstone, not super up on the Hearthstone meta, but they had a bunch of like legends and like mythics and like high-end stuff that it seemed like they were kind of decent, like competitive decks, like better than I would think of like challenger decks or something, like higher than that level. And it was like, hey, play them for a week, figure out which one you like, and we'll just give it to you for free because we haven't seen you for a while. We kind of like you to play our game again. And I was like, man, that actually like is kind of close to making me want to play Hearthstone Constructed. Like, they're just gonna give me a real deck just because I hadn't seen me in a while. Like, couldn't we do that on Arena? Shouldn't we do that on Arena? Shouldn't people just like log into Arena and Wizards like, here, take this deck, please take this deck and play with it. Take all these decks, play them for a while, figure out which one you like, and then we will hook you up. We will hook you up with a deck for free, just because we really would like you to play our game. It actually made me kind of jealous. I was like, aw, where's my free deck, Watsy? Where's my 8 random druid spells, Watsy? Seek is great or whatever, but I want my 8 random druid spells. Yeah, this Arcanist just wrecks us to the point where I guess maybe we shouldn't have even taken the Lurrus. Boy. Well, so far none of the decks that we have played with Lord of the Rings cards have felt like they could keep up with the best decks in Historic, which makes me a little bit sad. I'm afraid, oh boy, I hope the same thing doesn't happen in Modern. Strangles the Skrelv, and then they get to flash it back. Well, we're gonna be on to the next deck shortly. I think it might be combo time. That might be the last hope for Lord of the Rings in Historic. Can we combo? Can we combo? If that doesn't work, then I guess we just assume that it's an against the odds set. The power level is for Alchemy, not Historic. They really should have made it standard legal. They really, their thing that they said about like, well, we didn't know the timing or something of the release if we could do it right. Like, I don't get, just like, you have the power, Watsy. You could just go on Twitter today and be like, hey, guess what? We decided Lord of the Rings is standard legal. Like, I don't know why they couldn't do that. I mean, they woke up and went on Reddit one day and were like, hey, guess what? There's no standard rotation this year. Couldn't they just like put a post on the website that said, hey, it's standard legal now? Yeah, it's actually Alchemy legal. Alchemy legal, but not standard legal. Which is a bit of a conundrum. Like, I don't know. I want to play with the Lord of the Rings cards, but I don't know about playing Alchemy. So that's the conundrum. Well, attack, hit you for a bunch. Flowering the White Tree's legit. Opponent. I know, that's kind of why I wish they just made it standard legal. That would have solved all those issues. Then we wouldn't even have to think about it. We could just play it in standard, because the power level is just like... The power level is just like... perfect for standard, I think. After rotation, Alchemy will be the best format on Arena. Ooh, what will rotation do for Alchemy? I know, after the no rotation announcement, doesn't it seem like Wizards can just do whatever? Like, I think they can. They have all the power. They do kind of make the game. So I think they could just be like, hey, like, we are doing this or we're not doing this. There's no in-betweens. Opponent gets in. It's us a 13 with the Crucius. Crucius makes a treasure, draws a card. Feels like the content is just engagement bait for hot topics in the community. I don't know. I don't know about I don't know about that. I mean, I think these are... I think the question of where do you play Lord of the Rings is a pretty relevant question on the release day of the Lord of the Rings set. About it. How do we get through these infinite goblins? Rotation will remove not only the stuff that was going to rotate anyway, but also rotate out all the OP Alchemy cards. Oh, I see. So, like, Crucius will rotate? Maybe, I mean, maybe that's why they... Maybe that's why they haven't done anything with it, is they're just waiting for rotation? Ooh, Crocs is not great. Down to 10. Opponent. Wait, how does it work with these cards then? So like A23 doesn't rotate, or it does rotate? Senego, welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big soup for you. Thank you. Have you tried brewing Goldberry plus Saga? Somebody used her plus Ilsidur Saga against me at pre-release. It was crazy value. I haven't. I think the idea is definitely cool. It definitely seems like something could be super fun in, yeah, we can't force through 10 damage here. Actually, can we force through? I think we can force through 10 damage here. Wow, Felden off the top. Macias, pro black. Move over Crucius. That looks like lethal. We... All right. We got, wow, opponent had Crucius out for multiple turns, too. And we still got there. That was... I mean, the deck could pour on some damage. If there's one takeaway from this deck, Flowering the White Tree is a real card. Like, +2/+1 in ward is actually super good. Yeah, I think that Artua Felden is the only card... I guess Mary. We needed to draw exactly Felden or Mary. So we had five outs that would have won us the game there. So I guess we high rolled a little bit of high rolling, but we will take it. We're not going to complain. Have you tried Nazgul Collected Company deck yet? I haven't. It does sound funny. I mean, that's a way to find some Nazguls. Yeah, okay. 2 1-drops into Feldon. I guess that's fine. See if we get our Mox Thought Seized. Actually, I don't even know. Would they Thought Seize a Mox? Probably not. Probably Feldon. I guess we get to find out. Did you change the deck list with version of Boros Legends? No. The one with that the updates we made on stream are not reflected in the deck list. I can, if you remind me when we're not in a match, I can export it. Yeah, I just like the idea of being able to play with the Lord of the Rings cards in, oh boy, opponent missed their land drop. In a format like Standard where the power level reminds me of a Standard set. The set's like super flavorful. It's even got some of the same themes that we see in Standard, like Pippin being a soldier and so forth. Like, it even synergizes with a lot of stuff that is in Standard. So I think it would be really cool in Standard. Don't kill our dog. Come on, opponent. Okay, Isamaru survives, and opponent. All right, I think Legends maybe can beat the 1-land keep. Opponent doing us at the moment. The risky 1-land 1 keep. 1 land, a couple of 1-mana plays, and getting beaten down by Isamaru. Inquisition about it. Oh, Mary's actually really good here. Mary, haste, Atia, draw a card, carries that for next turn, down to 6. Can't kill our stuff because of ward, and okay, that actually felt pretty good for this deck. That actually felt pretty solid. Front page of the New York Times, Final Fantasy 16 is taking on the Star Wars problem. I don't even know what the Star Wars problem is. What is the Star Wars problem? Yeah, if our opponent only has 1 land, Boros Legends. Did we break it? Did we break it in the opponent only has 1 land meta? Yes. I think the answer is yes. Yeah, I don't know what the Star Wars problem is either, honestly. What would the Star Wars problem? Bad movies? Star Wars. Oh, Star Wars or Lord of the Rings? We were trying to figure. I was talking with Richard the other day. It came up on the podcast a little bit. Is there any other nerd culture IP that can rival Lord of the Rings? Like, is the One of One Ring literally the peak of? Is it the peak of Magic and like the Magic bubble and the Magic finance thing? Is there anything else that could possibly rival Lord of the Rings? And Star Wars was one of the ones that came up. I don't know. Is Star Wars... Obviously, there's a little bit of a divide where it's not the same high fantasy aspect as Lord of the Rings is. Star Trek or Star Wars? What about those two? Okay, let's say we're going to space. Star Wars is the bigger of the two, probably? Or is Star Trek comparable to Star Wars in terms of like popularity? They can print a zeros. I mean, if you believe the conspiracy theories, they already did print the 0 of 01 ring. It doesn't even exist. It's all just a marketing ploy. There is no 1 ring. It's all in our imaginations. All right, come on, Frodo. Show Mono Black what's up. Star Wars probably has a bigger fan base. Harry Potter. Okay, so Harry Potter is more recent, but I guess that is like pretty iconic. Game of Thrones maybe could have been iconic if they had managed to like stick the landing a little bit better. I think the landing was enough to keep it from really being in the conversation. All right, well, there goes Frodo. About it. In Europe, there are not many Star Wars fans. Do people still know Monty Python? I feel like somehow we're really good at drawing that second Skrelv. The master of top decking 2 Skrelvs in a row. Well, alright, we'll take Luris past the turn. Opponent. A Monty Python set would be sweet. I mean, we already have the Black Knight in Magic. they already did it back in Alpha. Nintendo, like Mario Party? Something... Oh, no. Pachuca Bog. Come on, opponent. Who plays Pachuca Bog? Who plays Pachuca Bog? On Arena. No one. Wow, they were prepared for that Luris. Jeez. A Nintendo crossover would be big. I could see that. If you just had all the, like, Mario Party characters. What do you think about... What do you think about all the versions in the Lord of the Rings set? What do you think of all the cards having the same name? Ooh, Turgrid's Lantern. Okay, sure. We will take the 3. Opponent plays... Opponents! Pachuca Bog Tribal over there. Pachuca Bog Tribal. Well, I guess we don't have to do this at... I guess we can level this up at instant speed. Well, hit you with the Atomic. Pass the turn. Opponent's playing Waste Nut, I think. I have a friend in Rome who's like the biggest fan of Monty Python. His name is Biggusticus. Sounds like a Monty Python fan name. Northern Vanguard for the 49th. Welcome to the Fishbowl. Thank you so much for your subscription. Big super for you. I just wonder if we'll ever get proper reprints of the Lord of the Rings cards. That is a good question. So we know there's a holiday edition that they're printing. We know there's a holiday edition that they're printing this holiday season. So like 6 months from now or something. Beyond that, there was this little tidbit. Actually, let me get this donation really quick because we got a new donation from Dan Wildfire. How's it going? Oh no. Shieldred into Turgrid. That is some scary top decks. Well, okay. I think we block with... This has Menace. They both have Menace. Not good. Not good. Down to 10. And there's a Lantern. We played Waste not that long ago, and it felt surprisingly solid. Like Waste Not actually is kind of good. Boom, down to 14. $2 donation. Hey Seth, I made a Get Off My Lawn tribal deck. I mean Elder tribal deck. How are you, Doug? Hopefully all is going well. Down to 4. I mean, we're basically dying here. Opponent plays a land. Those are some bomby 5-drops, opponent. Shieldred into Turgrid into Invoke Despair. That is... Oh, really? That Pachuca Bogs. Those Pachuca Bogs got us hard. Ridiculously hard. Brutality. I mean, we should be able to stomp this deck, right? We should be good. We should be good. Yeah, Atomic doesn't do anything. Double Pachuca Bog. That looks super fun, Doug. Elders is a sweet tribe. You don't see too many Elder tribal decks. the Elder Dragons from what was it, AFR? Whatever. Commander Legends Baldur's Gate. But that cycle's really sweet. We do get a lot of Elders now. It's funny that Elders were such a rare thing throughout Magic. I guess it's the impact of Commander. Like, it's gotta be, right? Like, printing more cards for Commander. Because Elders were, like, not a thing. We got Elders in, what, Legends? And then we didn't get Elders again until Dragons of Tarkir, I want to say. Is there any other cycle of Legends before the Dragons of Tarkir Elder Dragons? I don't think so. And now we get Elders, like, somewhat frequently. Interesting. Yeah, it looks fun, Doug. We'll play first. The invasion ones are not elders. They feel like elder dragons. The time spiral, I don't believe the time spiral ones are either. I don't think either one of them are. Let's just play this on white, actually. Play this on white, play a Skrelv. Pass the turn. Opponent. Inquisition of Kozilek. Sure. They feel like elder. They feel like elders. They're under 40. How many are in your deck, Doug? Like all of them, essentially? Well, Minas Tirith is actually pretty good against our opponent's deck, although I think we need to play Feldon first. Play Feldon. Hit ya. Down to 17. Minas Tirith being able to draw a card seems big here. M19, I believe, did. That was one of the more recent sets that did. Does this deck have Ragavan? Ragavan's banned in Historic, which is a good thing, although this would be the perfect deck. This is another deck. Chill with the Bajuka Bogs, opponent. Chill. Well, go attacking. Do we just draw? Probably. Yeah, let's draw. Draw a card. Hit you down to 14. A lot of the decks that we played today are also archetypes I'm interested in Modern. So in Modern, I think you definitely play Ragavan in a Boros Legends deck. Well, Invasion of... It's an obliterator. Okay, yeah. So this is not exactly what I imagined. Opponent's got the life gain going. They got the Bajuka Bogs going. They're playing Phyrexian Obliterator just to make it really impossible for us to win. Yeah, our opponent is... They are ready for aggro. So go to sideboarding, Fleshbag Marauder, Phyrexian Oblit. These Bajuka Bogs, I swear, out of all the cards to lose to, Bajuka Bog. Who plays Bajuka Bog? All right, well, at least Atomic flies. That's something. We would really like to flip this Gabakon, but apparently that's impossible at the moment. Yeah, our opponent, yeah, they are ready. They're ready for those Reanimator decks. Tap lands for days, but Atraxa, unless you do it all in one turn, your Atraxa is not coming into play. Opponent, Swamp. Turgrid. Well, I mean, this does let us flip a Gabakon, right? We can Skrelv the Feldon, Pro Black. Hit the Gabakon. Flip the Gabakon. Draw a card. Play the land. Pass the turn. Grow the dorks. All right. No whammies, opponent. No whammies. Opponent. The question is if they go to like kill the Atomic Inquisition. Pretty good with the Turgid out. Opponent takes the Feldon. Steals the Feldon. And wow, big attack. Okay, well, no blocks, I guess. Ouch, down to 9. Blast Zone 2. Blast Zone 2. Oh, God. Somehow our opponent just has, like, every perfect thing for what our deck's tried to do. Boom. Hit you to 8. Die on the backswing. We got to draw something or we die. All right, Frodo. You can do it, buddy. You can do it, buddy. You can do it, buddy. Counters on the dorks. Not dead yet. We have a Frodo. Actually, we're still dead because of the Blast Zone, right? Wait, couldn't they just Blast Zone, force us to sack this Murderous Rider attack for 9? Okay, well, we're good. Anyone think that one ring is going to be open today? I mean, by good, I don't mean good. By good, I mean we're not literally dead yet. Well, level up. Opponent's going to blast zone. So we will sack. Opponent steals our Gobakon. Takes the Skrelv that doesn't matter. Wow, I think somehow our opponent managed to, like, find the only imaginable line that might not let them win this game. Like, somehow they managed to... I think there are like 10 different ways that we lose that game and like one very narrow way that we win that game, and somehow our opponent managed to pick the one way that we actually are, I think, gonna win, right? We have the Plaza of Heroes. I don't know how our opponent, yeah, they really did snatch defeat from the jaws of victory there. I was about ready to scoop it up because it seemed very obvious to me that we were dead. Oh, does this change things? Opponent, would you like a flowering of the white tree? You got us. Opponent was on the activate Gaia Reach line. How did we win that game? Okay. Wow, this matchup is so scary. I mean, I guess we... Oh, my goodness. I guess we gotta... Oh, Fragment Reality is so sketch. Fragment Reality, like, hitting a Turgid and putting an Obliterator into play feels so scary. But, yeah, I mean... I think that's more or less where we're at. We gotta have at least some answers for it. Well, that was sweet. Why not rest in peace to turn off Turgid? I don't know if we can afford a dead draw. Like, we're an aggro deck. I think we gotta trust that we can just out aggro Turgid. It's kind of like something it happens a lot in Modern. Badrukabog. Something that happens a lot in Modern that you see is, or it used to happen a lot at least, is burn players bringing in Rest in Peace against the graveyard deck. And so the burn player brings in the Rest in Peace to try to fight the graveyard deck. And the end result is that they play the Rest in Peace, and if the Rest in Peace was a burn spell, they would have won the game. But because the Rest in Peace was a Rest in Peace, they're like a burn spell short of closing out the game. So that's kind of the risk of bringing in those hate cards, unless they're really whammies. Like, if we're playing against Dredge or something like that, where if we resolve Rest in Peace, we literally just win the game. Then it's coming in every single time, 100%, no doubt about it. But if it's kind of just like, yeah, you know, it's all right. In those matchups, I think it's a little less important to bring in those sideboard pieces. Well, play the land. Should we just Rahilda? Probably. Let's play Rahilda. Getting in hits with that would be sweet. Isumaru. Pass the turn. Leave up Skrelv. Can we get the Hungry Hobbits list? You can, although after our experience with it today, I don't know if you actually will have much success with it. Ooh, they're gonna steal our Gobakon. That's unfortunate. But yes, here is this is the list. Just be warned that we didn't have a stunning amount of success. In fact, I don't think we want to match with the Hungry Hobbits, unfortunately. Well, get in, hit ya. Ooh. Okay. Okay, I can get behind a Flesh Gorger. We will accept a Flesh Gorger here about it. Ooh, that's a painful way to kill something down to 11. Passes. Well, we'll hit ya. Down to 8. Take the Lurus. Play the Vantage. Pass the turd. Hold. Hold. Opponent finds a land. Watch them have a Obliterator in hand and not be able to cast it because because of this blast zone. Sheoldred's Edict. We'll sack the Isumaru. We'll hit you with the Flesh Gorger. We drew another useless land. All right, opponent. Can you beat your own Flesh Gorger? No. Whoo. Okay, we actually Chipotle. What are your options? What are your options as a Hobbit player? As a Hobbit player, I have lots of food opinions. Yeah, I've come to the conclusion that it's probably not possible to. Let's try a couple games with let's try a couple games at least with the Sam combo. And of course, there are many streams and videos in the future. So if we don't get to everything today, we'll get to more in the future. But I will say Boros Legends. So far we played 2 decks. We played 4-color Tolkiens, and I really loved the idea of the deck, but it didn't really win at all. Boros Legends, especially after we switched to the Lurus build, which is a little sad because we dropped the 4-drop Lord of the Rings cards, but that actually felt pretty good. Like, just being aggro, flowering the White Tree, embracing the power of Mox Amber in the new Anthem, that actually felt pretty solid. So I think, as far as actually being competitive, Legends definitely felt better than Tolkien's. But let's try some stupid fat hobbits here. Ooh, Mexican food truck. What did you get from the Mexican food truck? How was the Ratilda? It's another one of those. It's another one of those cards that is so close to being paper playable. Like, it's essentially a Robber of the Rich, right? Like, it's very similar to a Robber of the Rich. The difference is you're guaranteed to get a non-land card, but that also, like, that could work in paper, right? Like, you could just take and reveal from the top of the deck until you hit a non-land card, like a tally, essentially. So it's another card that, like, with some very, very, very slight tweaks could be a paper card. Honestly, with how werewolves have not really made it in Standard, it probably would be a positive thing for the format, right? Oh, also, we have our first Orcish Bowmaster sighting. I think Orcish Bowmasters is just a good card. Like, I think Orcish Bowmasters is just, like, good, especially with everyone playing mono green. Just this 2-drop that can snipe. Just a 2-drop that can snipe a mana dork. That by itself is good. Actually, I think we're just gonna Bowmasters. There's not really any point in running out a combo piece here without being able to do anything with it. I think we will run out Bowmasters, though. All right, Bowmasters 1. Can you beat it? How about your face, opponent? And our opponent has come prepared. They too shall Bowmaster. Well, we will sack the Bowmaster to make some food. Play the land. Play the Woe Strider. Go attacking. Wait. Oh, wow, you can fizzle it. Interesting. I didn't even notice that. So we sacked the thing our opponent targeted with the Bowmasters, and they didn't get to amass. I actually didn't realize that was all tied together like that. When it enters a battlefield, and whenever opponent draws a card except the first ones they draw each turn, deals 1 damage to any target, then amass 1. Interesting. Wow, opponent is actually... Our opponent's actually playing an amass deck. Okay, okay, we got some spice. We got some spice from across the table. Our opponent is attempting to amass an army. I mean, we're making food at least, opponent. Get some with the Bowmasters down to 17. We're actually like super close to going infinite here. Super, super close. How can we need the sack outlet. That's a missing piece. I guess we also need to have Sam on the battlefield and not die, which is apparently not that easy. What does this do when it enters a battlefield or whenever an army you control attacks a mass? That seems horrible. Wait, so is this a good card? Am I missing am I missing something? So when they attack, they get a +1/+1 counter on their army? Oh, okay. You do you, opponent. You do you. Yeah, I don't know why it shows a different cost there. That is a little weird. Just arena things. We don't have any historic cards in our graveyard. I want to just get down this. All right. Well, play Samwise. I want to just play the Yogg. The Yogg is so good here, but I guess instead we will do annoying cat things. Get in. Hit you with the army. Down to 16. I'm currently doing a Lord of the Rings draft and got first and second pick bats. Ooh. Wow. Yes. Our opponent really wants to amass an army. They really want to amass an army. Opponent's going to fatal push our Samwise. That's a little bit unfortunate. Actually, kind of a lot unfortunate. Well, we'll make some food. Opponent gets it. Gets a counter on their army. Well, we will go attacking. Play another Witches Oven. I'm actually curious. I think it's correct to kill the Dreadhorde invasion, but I kind of want to see what happens. What actually... Can you have two different amasses going? Do the orcs transform into zombies? What happens with this? What happened? Does anyone know how this actually works? Oh, it's just a zombie orc? So this will eventually give lifelink then. Oh, yeah, we don't really want them to get... Huh. That's kind of weird. Interesting. Why can we not draw land here? Well... I guess we just get rid of the Dreadhorde invasion. Pass the turn. Do annoying cat stuff. Huh. That's kind of neat. I wonder if there's any implications of that. Is there any way of I mean, our opponent's trying to, but I wonder if there's any way you can combine old amass with new amass to actually make a sweet deck. Our opponent wants to kill the goat. Okay. Sure. Opponent goes attacking. Amasses orcs. Well, we're not as close to comboing off. Our opponent's had a lot of removal. A lot of removal, not a lot of land. Well, let's do cat things. Alright, play the cat, get back the cat. Drain you. Alchemy with Conjure the Power 9 into your deck. That's that good format. I mean, I think I will say I think that the Conjure Power 9 card, I think that's out of all the digital only cards, that is one of the ones I like the most. I've never actually played with it, but just like in theory, it's one of the cards I like the most. Well, let's Yogg. Actually, no. Oh, this is going to trigger no matter what. Okay, yes. So, Og. Snipe the Bowmasters. Sack the cat. So this is where if we had Sam, we would just go infinite. Like, Yogg sacks, cat comes back, we get a food, we do it again, we do it again. Oh, there's a Sam. Okay, so we actually just go fully infinite next turn. Assuming nothing dies. Our opponent spent a lot of removal. Okay, sure. Pass the turn. Set up for infinite. I think we're about to go infinite. I think we're about to go stupid fat hobbit infinite. Also, does Sam have like a massive family? Who are all the kids in this art? I don't remember that from the movie either. Why? Are those like Sam's kids, or is he just like reading a book to the local children? They're all really? I honestly thought this the Hobbits in the movie, without having read the book, I assumed they were all like 16 years old, and I would have never guessed that Sam had a whole herd of children. Also, speaking of the movie, I found out, I didn't know this was a thing until Tomer told me. Apparently there's a whole bunch more to the story. What was I puzzled by? Oh, I was puzzled by the Hobbit Wrath card. The Battle of Bywater or whatever. I was like, what is this referencing? Like, I don't understand this. And Tomer was like, oh yeah, actually, if you actually read the books, it doesn't end where the movie ends. Like, Sauron comes and like takes over the Shire and is like ruling and enslaves all the hobbits, and the hobbits got to like rebel. I was like, that's a huge amount of the story that they left out. That's like that's the actual ending. There's like a whole nother movie that they never got to. Saruman, not Sauron. Yeah, I had no idea that there was all of that. So is there a lot that's left out of the movies? Or are those like, how accurate of a representation of the books are the movies? Because honestly, I don't ever really expect to read the books, if I'm being truthful. All right, we are infinite. This is the combo. So Sam, a free sack outlet, Cauldron Familiar. Sack the Cauldron Familiar, get it in the graveyard, sack a food to get it back. When the cat comes back, that makes a new food. So now we can sack the cat again. The cat comes back, we draw a card, we sack a food to get back the cat comes back in, we drain our opponent, go up to 7, sack the cat, get it back, Sam makes some food, do it again. I was also wondering about that, because Tom Bombadil, is like one of the coolest cards. It's like one of the coolest cards, and I didn't remember seeing him in the movie at all. I was waiting. It's like they're talking to ghost people and like climbing mountains and, you know, golems being thrown off cliffs. I was like, where's Tom? I was waiting for this like bearded bard to just come out and sing a song, do a little dance, but didn't happen. Bombadali. The Tom Bombadil is possibly the most powerful character in the books. Would be really weird in the movie. Yeah, I mean, I guess that's also... What are we bringing against a mass? I did not consider the possibility of someone building a literal amass deck. Meat Hook, a massacre. Probably just Rite of Oblivion. So this deck might actually be kind of good. So I'm torn on whether we even want Witches of It. Remember the talk earlier about Collected Company with the food token deck we were playing, the Hungry Hobbit deck? this is a deck that could be a collected company deck, and I was really torn while I was building this deck. Is it better to build it like this, as kind of like a sacrifice deck, or would it be better to build it as a collected company deck? You could not play the Witch's Ovens. You could cut back on Fatal Pushes and Thought Seizes, pretty much just play exclusively creatures. And this could, because you really only need Yogg, and in Modern you don't even need Yogg. There's just not that many free sack outlets on creatures and Arena, so I wonder if it's better. It could be a sack deck. Or it could be a Coco deck rather than a more spelly based sack deck. Can't go wrong with Taco Shark. Yeah, okay, we'll keep this. More okay than great, but I mean, we're not gonna die soon, I don't think. Opponent. Well, if they Thought Seize our Thought Seize, that's fine. They're the ones spending the mana. No, they don't. Ooh, Yogg. Yogg is good. Thought Seize you. Opponent. Ooh, Black Devotion. Interesting. Well, we'll take Dreadhorde Invasion. Ship the turn. Isn't Altar of Dimension historic? Yeah, but it's not on a creature, so it doesn't really help with the creature plan. I think the only free repeatable sack outlets that come on creatures that you could like Coco into are yes, it's happening. It's happening. It's really happening. God, nice Sign in Blood you have over there, opponent. Sign in Blood. Downside is your board gets Wrath. It happened. It really happened. Are there any good Gandalf commander decks? Gandalf is a card I haven't built around it yet, but Gandalf is a card that I am excited to build around. Opponent really wants to get rid of the Bowmasters. Makes sense. Who's the mass deck now, opponent? Who has the army? Who has the army, friend? I will give you a hint. Ooh, run out the Shambling Gas. Run out the Cauldron Familiar. Come on, Sign in Blood. Sign in Blood. Sign in Blood. Aw, opponent's just gonna amass. Gandalf, what do you want to see? What do you want to see most in the next Historic Brawl video? What's your most hype Historic Brawl commander from the set? Well, get in, hit ya. Opponent goes to 1. Yeah, we don't even really care about that. All right, we'll just pass. Yeah, we had some Gandalfs in the. Sure. We have some Gandalfs in the Boromir combo deck, but we didn't actually get to the Boromir combo deck today. I'm gonna have to play Nazguls, aren't I? Nazguls have come up a lot today. People really want to see Nazguls. We're gonna have to play some Nazguls. I guess I gotta put Nazguls on the against the odds poll. Second against the odds question. Yeah, this deck has some Gandalfs in it. Oh, all right. All right. Let's do one match with this deck, and then I gotta go get Bear from the Bear Bee sitters. So okay, question. When it comes to something like Nazguls, Modern. Okay, here's the options: Modern, Historic, or, and I don't even know if I should put this out there, but Alchemy. Those are the three somewhat practical legal homes. I guess you could add Historic Brawl. Let's add Historic Brawl. Modern, Historic Brawl. Legacy, some of this stuff might show up in Legacy on occasion. Legacy is definitely on my radar, but I don't think we're going to play most of the cards in Legacy. I think there'll be some specific cards that Legacy is the format we play them in, but I don't think we're going to play primarily Legacy. Well, we got Gandalf. We do have the Gandalf. Well, Thought Seize you. Oh, we probably should have Trail of Crumbs in the food token deck, shouldn't we? I don't think we want it in our Sam deck, but in the, well, do we want it in the Token Factory deck? Is it fast enough? Well, I mean, I think we take the, Opponent with the risky 1-land keep. We could try to take the Trail of Crumbs and just mana screw them. I guess they have deadly. Yeah, we'll take Sam. Ha, opponent comes from the Saffron Olive school of hand keeping. 1 land, a Sam, some card draw. We'll be fine. No, we haven't. I haven't even built a Nazgul deck yet, but people have mentioned it a lot, so it is on my radar as something that I'm gonna have to like put on the against odds poll or something, because clearly people are hyped about Nazguls. I think it's been the card people have asked about most, or at least one of the cards people have asked about most. People do love those cards that are... Oh, animation module. Well, this is boring, but I think we actually just Thalia. Thalia, Caves of Koilos. Opponent's gonna sack the food to try to draw a card. I mean, if we can get down Gandalf, who knows what happens. If we find Rotted Robic, we could go infinite, potentially. Wow, they found another Sam? That's a little scary. That means our opponent's like a draw away from maybe winning. And this only hits attacking and blocking creatures. Same with Ganju. Have you played any limited with this? I haven't played any limited yet. Although that is something that people have also asked for, so we're definitely gonna have to do some Lord of the Rings limited, because that's also been a pretty popular request. Well, get in with Thalia. Opponent takes the beats. Well, play the land. Run out Boromir. Hope our opponent doesn't find a sack outlet, because if they do, they get to go infinite. Opponent, Deadly Dispute, sacks cat to draw some cards. Sure. Untaps. Hey, what's up, Mega Magic Garp? How are you? How's Lord of the Rings? It's super... I like it. I think our record today overall has been bad, but I still like it. I have still had fun. I have still had fun playing it, so I'm counting it as a win, even though it is true that if you want to go strictly by our record has not been stunning. I will give it that. Well, hit ya, and also hit ya. Well, I mean, it's Gandalf time. We'll see if that means anything. Does that mean anything? Opponent sacks the goose. Is Gandalf good? Are we dead? If our opponent has a Woe Strider, we die. Or I mean, we just saw this. We just played a version of Sam combo. So if our opponent has, okay, Ashnod's Altar, 1, 2, 3, they can cast it. We can't actually stop it, so we are actually dead. Sure. Why not Ellis? I mean, we have Ellis. I don't think it's worth playing a 2-drop when we can play a... I don't think it's worth playing a 2-drop there when we can play a 5-drop. We just got to use our mana a little bit more efficiently. So I think that's the big argument for running out the Gandalf there, and then going forward from there. Well, Sam combo seems reasonable. I guess Elish... That's actually an example where if we had Elishnorn instead of Gandalf, Elishnorn would have stopped that combo. So I guess that's one of the questions with Gandalf, is like, if you're building a commander deck, are you better off building a Gandalf deck or an Elishnorn deck? And they do slightly different things and care about slightly different things. But I think, in general, Elishnorn is just more powerful Gandalf. Unless you can find some really specifically sneaky synergies like the artifact thing's kind of cool. The death trigger thing, getting death triggers or leaves the battlefield triggers. But one of the things I noticed, there's like not a ton of legendary death triggers in legendary enters the battlefield triggers compared to cards in general. Like, there's not a lot of legendary Muldrifters and so forth. Some of the most typical Panharmonicon cards. So I think one of the things that has me excited about Gandalf is it's actually a pretty tricky card to build. Like, it's not a simple, easy, obvious, like, oh, here's the cards you play. So that's one of the things that actually makes me a little bit more excited about it. Yeah, Gandalf it's super cool. It's kind of like a weird legendary Elishnor Panharmonicon. It's super sweet. Hey, thank you. Yeah, Amigo the Devil's really good. They're a band that I've gotten into in the last couple of years and really enjoy. Yeah, how many did I sideboard one back out? It might have been right to keep both of them. Probably sideboarding down to like one Gandalf is correct, but I really want to see. I know what Lauren does. I really want to see if Gandalf can be good. So I think I'm erring on the side of keeping in Lord of the Rings cards, even if it probably isn't correct long term, because I really just want to play with them and see how they feel about it. Razorverse they get. Our opponent's playing Samwise Combo. Well, that's a little bit awkward. Our opponent's playing Samwise Combo. We are Bardor. We are locking our own Leylines out of the game with Thalia. Leyline does stop our opponent's combo. Should we be able to... I mean, or we could draw... Oh, are they also trying to, like, Scurry Oak combo? They might also be playing Scurry Oak combo. Sam plus this plus Scurry Oak would go infinite, right? Actually, no. That wouldn't go infinite. I don't know why your opponent's playing Dissonant. Opponent. Well, there's the cat. Yep. Well, I mean, if our opponent has the nut draw, we're just going to be dead because of our Thalia, which is super awkward. Actually, I think we... Do we attack with both? Is there any chance they block here and keep Thalia? We need the Thalia off the battlefield. We need our own Thalia to die. Like, that's the issue. Yeah, Bats is one of the coolest cards from the set. All right, opponent, let's see what you do. Oh, they just take it? Oh, no. Okay. Well, that means we might be dead. If they have the sack outlet, we are going to die with the Leyline in hand. Gilded Goose. Honk, honk. That doesn't make us die. Okay. And even more food. Sure. I mean, opponent's got food for days. Opponent. Okay, passes. Well. Leyline of the Void. Alright, so we're not going to get comboed. That's good at least. Wow, they're going to sack the cat. They must have some reason. They must have bats or something that make them want to sack all this food from the graveyard. Opponent. Yeah, we could have Ganju our own Thalia, but if we did that last turn, we still wouldn't have the... Okay. If we did it last turn, we still wouldn't have had the mana to play the Leyline, because we would have had to pay mana for the Ganjo. Alright, sure. Wow, what a hand. Okay. Well, I mean, I guess we might be dying to the beatdown plan. That was a lot of fatal pushes for our opponent to have in hand there, unfortunately. Hey Seth, at the ER because I fell in the shower. Oh, I'm sorry, Azenbull, but the stream is always good to watch. Oh well, I hope you're doing all right. That's not good. Hey Seth, quick question. I need to play some Salt in my playgroup. Any suggestion for cards in different colors? I want to get invited back, but not way too salt. Okay, so salty but not super salty. Yeah, I think we're gonna die to the beat down here awkwardly. Well, play a Blood Artist. So what colors are you looking for, Super? So, I mean, the easiest way to get people salty in Commander is to mess with their lands. That is a pretty guaranteed way. Well, these Dissidents are doing some work for our opponent. I don't actually know if I like this plan, but it's working out for our opponent this game. I don't know. It doesn't really help with the combo, right? Unless I'm missing something, like... This plan doesn't help with the combo, so you're playing kind of just like dead cards, but it is, I mean, we are just going to die to the beatdowns here, unfortunately. About it. Yeah, anything to mess with lands is a pretty good way to make people salty in Commander. I may build many budget decks for my group, so all colors are welcome. Whew, so land destruction, counter spells, mass discard, anything along those lines, I think is gonna make people salty. White counter spells, especially, that no one expects. Those ones are even better. Yeah, I mean, we draw the fatal push, but it is too late, and well, opponent did some salmon. Oh. So what do we learn? What do we learn about Lord of the Rings today? What did we learn? And I think, again, I kind of wish this set was in standard, honestly. Like, the set being in standard would be so sweet. But the set, like... The set's really cool. The flavor's really cool. We only got through 3 decks today, but the decks we got through, Boros Legends, I would say I think that's pretty competitive. Stupid Fat Hobbit, the Sam combo deck, I think some build of that is going to be competitive. 4 color tokens, wait for Modern where we have Academy Manufacturer, and then Boromir Radodrobic. This deck's a little bit janky. It's kind of a Gandalf deck. It's kind of expensive. We didn't get in many games with it, but that's a TBD one. Tolkien Community College. How are you? How are you? So yeah. Anyway, everyone, I think that brings us to the end. So reminders today. Replay YouTube. That's where you'd find all the old streams, including this one in the future. Normal YouTube. Tomorrow we are moderning for Against the Odds. So make sure to check that out. It's a card people have been asking for. One more reminder that our sponsor today is Card Kingdom. And if you need some magical cards, you can get them over at cardkingdom.com/MTG Goldfish. Also on the YouTube, make sure to Insurrection. Insurrection, I think, is just... I don't think it's salty. It's just boring to me. I don't see people get salty about Insurrection, but I do sometimes just kind of say like, okay, sure, you win. So I think it's more that it's just not a very interesting way to win the game. But I don't think my experience hasn't been that it actually makes people salty. Repeatable removal, like Grave Pack, are pretty salty. Like things that are just, but those are also like kind of annoying. Opposition Agent, Orcish Bowmasters now, I think, is on the salty list. Anything that stops your opponent from executing their game plan, I think is going to be salty, especially if it's pulling up their lands. But anyway, everyone, next stream on Thursday. People want to see Limited. Maybe we do Lord of the Rings Limited. We'll figure it out. But thanks for hanging out, everyone. Thanks for watching. Thanks to Card Kingdom for supporting the show. And most importantly, thank you to all of you hanging out, checking out Lord of the Rings, winning some, losing some, having some fun along the way. So I hope you have an amazing night. Have a spectacular Wednesday. And we will be back Thursday to have some more fun. So I love you all, everyone. Be good. And yeah, I'll see you on Thursday.
Yeah, well, it would